Night on the Black Channel. Well, folks, did I call it or did I call it? Seems like every week we're having one of those. Well, yeah, we are back one more again. I told you that the truce between Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson would not last. Not it, might not. I told you from the beginning, absolutely it would not last. I told you that it would be Nick Fuentes who would fire the first shots, but that it would not end there. So, without further ado, Nick Fuentes decided to go off this week. Had a few things he wanted to say here, and you can hear for yourselves.
Like, where do you think this is going? Let me tell you.
By the way, if you have the children around, you're going to want them to skip this because the white supremacists are being what they are, evil and vulgar and things like that. So I don't want anybody to take this out of context. So this is not going to be good for the children if you have them sneaking around and whatnot. Make sure they're not sitting around the corner tuning in and ear hustling.
This before they kill me, okay, before Peter Thiel and JD Vance have me killed for telling the real truth, let me just say this before I get killed or taken out in some way. These people are not trustworthy, okay? They're not telling the truth. And I think they are maybe making some last-ditch effort to placate my audience. Let's hear the guy out. Let's hear the bastard out. So that my audience is going to go and say, oh, Tucker's dad didn't run the CIA. Oh, JD Vance isn't a creation of Peter Thiel. Oh, Peter Thiel's great. Seems great. All that obsession with the Antichrist and, you know, the dead boyfriend who fell from the window. That seems totally legit. They're trying to bring me on to earn the allegiance of the audience. They say, well, he had Nick on. He had Nick on, so he must be cool. Oh, well, they had Nick on, and they're now defending Tucker, so maybe these guys are cool. Let me tell you this, they're not cool. They're not square. JD Vance, Peter Thiel. I won't say Tucker because I was in his cabin and everything, but buddy, he is up to something. This guy is up to something. And I don't like that he was so two-faced. He's a two-faced. I don't like two-faces. I know I'm from Chicago. We're not two-faced here in Chicago. Maybe you're two-faced up in New England, in Fox News, in that world where you come from. We're not two-faced out here. And so you bring me on the show and you say one thing, and then you go everywhere and say, well, he attacked my dad. I didn't attack your dad. You lied. You lied. You said you didn't know your dad was in the CIA. He was. That's not an attack. That's a fact. And it's relevant. He goes, well, he attacked my dad. No. You attacked me. You worked with Max Blumenthal, son of Sidney Blumenthal, to get a hit piece written about me in the Gray Zone calling me a fad because your buddy, Joe Kent, who is also in the CIA, said that he doesn't support my views on Israel. So where's the accounting for that? Or is that something else we want to gloss over? And then proceeds to say, well, I don't approve of his anti-Semitism. I don't even know what that means. I don't hate anybody. I'm not a Jew hater. I don't hate anybody. I just recognize, like everybody does now, that we live in a Jewish oligarchy. Okay? The reason we live in a society that is apostatized from Jesus Christ, the reason we live in a diverse society that was reconstituted under Martin Luther King Jr. and the ADL and the Civil Rights Act and the Hart-Celler Act is because of activists working in the diaspora to make this country more hospitable to their ascendancy.
Okay. So, yeah, y'all, the gloves are coming off here. And by the way, he's working himself up into a lather. Pause. But yeah, did I call it or did I call it? I told you what was coming. I told you how it was coming. I told you who it would be. I told you how it would happen. And sure enough, without any real provocation from Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson, as you all know, he has not been going at Nick Fuentes like that. But you see, Nick wants to go mainstream now that the doors were opened. He wants to do that. But the problem is his white supremacist past is keeping him from that. So every time you turn around, he's having to disavow himself of everything that he's said and everything else he's been doing. He's having to disavow himself. So that vernacular, that terminology got him where he is. But now, in order for him to go past that, he's going to, you can't be a full-blown Nazi sitting up here talking like that to the masses. So basically, he's having to disavow himself. When he talks about he doesn't hate anybody, he hates everybody. He hates everybody. I mean, he's a white supremacist. He's a Nazi. He said so himself. He's the one who said that he is. Now that people are saying he's a white supremacist and a Nazi, now that he sees that that's preventing him from going mainstream, that he came just to the threshold of being mainstream. And then people keep playing his words like we did with Charlie Kirk. Just like we did with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, they could not turn him into a legitimate spokesperson of anything in society at large because, well, we had Charlie Kirk's words to play and we kept playing what Charlie Kirk said. So that prevented Charlie Kirk from becoming a national hero. He was a national demon as he was. And Nick Fuentes, he came just this close to being able to challenge the establishment. Yeah, but you're a Nazi and Nazis can't challenge the establishment. So now he's very angry and very upset because he can't make it that last mile. That last mile that would allow him to supplant the old white media. He can't get there because he's a Nazi. And the things that he said have been too reprehensible and too despicable. He can't get any further. And now he's angry about it. So being a Nazi got him where he is, but it's also preventing him from getting any further than he is. So he's very, very frustrated about it. And he's taking it out on everybody else because he knows he can't rise the way he's doing it. He can't rise any further. And so now he's lashing out. As I told everybody, I said, they are going to try to cozy up to this snake. Candace Owens cozied up to this snake. Tucker Carlson tried to cozy up to the snake. And I told everybody, he's going to bite all of you. Because the truth of the matter is that he's been in the wilderness for so long. He's just angry and resentful now. He just wants to attack all of you. He's holding a grudge, and all the old white supremacist media cozying up to him will not help because he's holding a grudge against all of you. And he's doing exactly what I said he would do. Exactly it.
And this is why people like
build up their base of power.
Because of this.
Hush up, fella.
That's a fact. Everybody knows that. And if you can't say that with your chest, if you can't support me for saying that, I don't trust you. Because I'm saying nothing wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. And I don't like that. And by the way, I'm one of the only ones telling the truth. I'm not a perfect person. You don't have to avow every joke or shitty thing I've ever said. But I'm one of the only ones telling the truth. So if it's anything other than he's telling the truth, it's, he's an anti-Semite. Oh, I don't approve of his anti-Semitism. When people tell you who they are, listen.
Well, folks, just a few weeks ago, Nick Fuentes was proud to be an anti-Semite. He had no problem with you calling him an anti-Semite. He said, if the things I say make me an anti-Semite, then I'm an anti-Semite. He's the one who said he was that. Now he's angry because he finally was being spoken about in mainstream media. But he's like, but they keep calling me an anti-Semite. No, you said you were. And take a look at him. Now he's all touchy and fragile and upset because he realizes that you're not going to be able to lead the masses as a white supremacist and a Nazi. Now he sees the drawback of it. Now he's angry because he's like, damn, it was a trick bag. They got me in a trick bag now, and now I can't get any further along. Now he's angry over it.
When people take their mask off and they show you who they are, you listen. I took the call from Tucker. I went out just like I went to Candace's house. I'm always open to talk, and I'm always willing to accept the olive branch. I went out there and I said, let's see what happens. Let's just see how it goes down. And I thought it went pretty well. But now ever since he's gone on the tour, now I find out it was an intervention. Oh, that's news to me. Now I find out the whole thing was an intervention about how I'm an anti-Semite, and my audience just needs to follow other people. They're trying to split us up. Not to sound like a cult or anything, but that's really what it is. They hate that people support me because I say this. And they hate that none of their attacks work. They call me everything. They attack everything about me.
No, Nick, it is that when you talked to Tucker, you started softening on things. In that interview with Tucker, you got real soft on your positions. You started getting real soft on everything you were saying there before. You started backing down from it and trying to massage the language. You were not that hardcore white supremacist that you are over there on Rumble. So it's you who is trying to figure out how to make yourself more palatable to the masses. And as a result, your own people started telling you that you were getting soft, but you really want to get to that next level. So your base was telling you were getting soft because they expected you to be full Nazi. And when you were talking to Tucker Carlson, that wasn't the dude that you were when you talked to Tucker. So your credibility was in question. So now you're desperately trying to get your credibility and your credentials and your bona fides back is what you're desperately trying to do because that didn't work for you. You tried it. You need to do it. Nobody believes you. But you need it for it to work. It ain't going so well.
They attack my look, my personality, my family, my race, my everything about me, my past remarks. I'm an extremist, everything about me. They rip me to shreds because they want to discredit me in the eyes of the audience for no reason other than they don't want you to listen to me.
Okay, Nick, my past comments, but Nick, you need to stand on that. You're upset because they're bringing up your past comments. I mean, which of your past comments do you disavow? Which of your past comments are you going to stand behind? Now you're upset and angry because they're playing your words. Do you all hear him? He's upset and angry now because, they keep bringing up the things I say. They keep bringing up the things I say. When he says the past, he means yesterday. When he means the past, he means 2 days ago. Not 2 years ago, 2 days ago. So take a look at the white supremacists. Remember, people, sunlight is the best disinfectant. You drag them out in the sunlight and then you see, by the way, that's not who they really are when you get out here. At least they're not so bold to stand on it. So yeah, he's upset because people are saying, by the way, you said this and you said that and you can't be taken and accepted by the masses if you do. And he's like, damn, I thought I was going to be able to cross over. Thought I was going to be able to cross over.
That's it. These fucking people will tolerate anything. Criminals, degenerates. They'll tolerate bags like Dave Rubin. They'll tolerate that. They'll tolerate Kevin Spacey. They'll tolerate George Santos. They'll tolerate every flavor, every variety of scumbag, degenerate, criminal, thug, liar, crook, psycho. They say, I'm making everybody look bad, and then you got Candace Owens on again? Really? They do a show about chemtrails. They do a show about demonic attacks. I'm making everybody look bad? They'll tolerate anything, but they attack me on the basis of everything. Why? They don't want you to listen to what I have to say about this.
Okay, well... Yeah, by the way, he brought up the demonic possession thing and said, I'm making everybody look bad. Tucker Carlson says that he's been literally attacked by demons. But you say, I make the movement look bad? And the truth is, both of you two white supremacist bastards make the movement, society, trash cans, disabled cockroaches. You make a whole bunch of things look bad. Yeah, you really do.
And he is spot on. Like, seriously, say, like, all opinion.
I will not be used. I will not be bought. I cannot be tricked. So that I'm getting really suspicious and I'm getting really pissed off about it. I'm getting really pissed off about the whole thing. Piers Morgan, how many shows is he going to do about me, but not have me on the show?
And this is what it's all about right here. Ego, people. Nick, as I said, Nick sees that he's just on the cusp He's just at the threshold of being able to break through and be a mainstream representative on the big outlets, the big stages where everybody else is. He's just that close. But these other people keep hogging it. And they won't go ahead and just pull the trigger and bring him on so he can finally sit in the arena. They won't do it. So as I said, this is what it's really about. Why won't they have me on Piers Morgan? He went from people are lying about me or people are bringing up my words to why won't they bring me on Piers Morgan? Oh, so that's what it's really about. Exposure, raising your profile. That's what it's really about. And if they disparage you, it diminishes your profile. You're trying to break through into the mainstream of American consciousness, but these obstacles are still in your way. And because these other folks won't let you through and won't let you rise, oh, that's what you really want, is to get raised up. And it just isn't happening. So now he finally gets to it. Your issue with these other folks is ego. You feel like you should be leading this. But if you're not accepted into the mainstream of communications, then you can't lead anything. So, okay, you're not going to lead nothing sitting over there on Rumble. That's not where you're going to lead anything. So he finally breaks down and admits what it's really about. They're not having me on the big forums so I can lead. And he's angry and resentful because he's not able to lead. He's just this little person that they're all ashamed of, and nobody is really handing the big stage to. He's not being allowed to go center stage. He's got to stand off over there behind the curtain on the center stage, left of center stage. He doesn't get to actually stand in the spotlight. And that's what he really wants.
We're going to do yet another show about Nick Fuentes. Not going to talk to him. On Piers Morgan, uncensored, by the way. Megyn Kelly's going to play the clip of me from Grand Theft Auto, really? The assault from the Blaze, writing articles. They got that bald idiot doing Dear Groyper. They got Rufo and Lomez, illegal immigrant wife, academic. Then they got the Doyle show, Tucker Goy Slave show. Endless. Me against everybody. Me against all of them. Me against everybody on the payroll from PayPal Mafia. Me against everybody on the payroll of CIA, Trump, GOP, Israel. And I hate to say it, but it's what it is. Me and the Groypers against everybody.
Oh, now you're trying to rally the troops, because you see, when you talked to Tucker Carlson, it wasn't about the Groypers. Nick is trying to rally the troops, people, because the Groypers started seeing him get weak in the knees when he finally had a chance to speak to Tucker Carlson. They saw that he was getting soft. They saw he was getting wobbly. His support was weakening because they saw that, hey, when you went talk to Tucker, you were kind of soft there. You were massaging your language. You weren't really standing by your talk hardcore. You wasn't really doing that. So, as I said, he is trying to reaffirm and shore up his support among his Nazi base. Because, yeah, talking to Tucker raised his profile, but the only way it worked was because he couldn't really be the hardcore Nazi he's been. So now he's trying to reinforce his white supremacist credentials and get the base back behind him, because the base has started. There were folks out there saying little things like they need to look for somebody else. That Nick had his moment and then Nick got weak. So that's what it's really about. And they're right. That is what it's really about. But, yeah, he's trying to firm back up his support, man. He's trying to get the base back on board with him. He's trying to get him back on board with him, man. He's getting weak about it.
So, and that's always how it will be. And you know what? Now's about the time when people say, oh, you need allies. You don't want to get isolated. I would say it's a total opposite. I would say, no entangling alliances with the Groypers. Let's not get tricked. Let's not get caught up with people that we don't understand or people we don't know, people we can't trust. I don't know what Tucker's deal is. I don't understand it. I don't understand how a person lives like that. It's all a big lie. The cabin with the knickknacks. It's an artifice. It's a complete artifice. The whole thing's an artifice. I don't like it. And I don't like what he's been saying. I think it's two-faced. I feel betrayed. I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. I think it was bullshit. Just like with Candace. I don't like these games. It's not good faith. It's not forthright. It's not direct. It's not honest. And you know what, buddy boy, you need your credibility right now. You know, whatever the fuck you're trying to do, you've been working for the system for 25 years. And I got your number because we know about your daddy and all that. You know, and seems like a good guy. Seems like a fucking patriot for what it's worth. But he ran the CIA. He ran Voice of America. You know, you can't really afford to act like that right about now.
Like, bro, Nick is again. F Tucker.
Flavor of that. Don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that. You know that's not even true. That's a crock of nonsense, and that sounds like Ben Shapiro. It sounds like a different flavor of that. He's telling me Netanyahu likes you. Okay, how do you know that? What did he tell you? For sake, I just lose my mind because it's like, you know, more than anything, I'm like, let's just stop the lies. Can we just like the level of gaslighting and psychological warfare that has been waged against the American people? It's just enough.
Okay, so now he's the American people. So as you can see, he is still going to Tucker people. He didn't just say one or two things. I'm letting this play without a bunch of interrupting because as you can see, he is going on and on and on and on. I mean, he is just a full frontal assault here is what he's doing. All because they wouldn't have him on Piers Morgan and because nobody takes him seriously in the mainstream, he's not going to be able to ascend to the top of anything. That's what this is all about, people. This is about ego. This is about who will be the most important. That's what this is about. Who is going to be preeminent? Who is going to be the most important? That's all they're concerned about now. Who's going to lead this thing? For those of you who saw my documentary film Race War, same thing, folk. The younger versus the elder. Once again, Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, the younger versus the elder. And it really boils down to who's going to lead. They both want white supremacy. They all want white supremacy now. They're very clear on that. The goal is white supremacy. But so what are they fighting over? They're fighting over who's going to lead it, who has the best idea. That's all they're fighting over. They're not fighting over will there be white supremacy. They're just fighting over whose version of it will prevail. They're only fighting over whose version of white supremacy will prevail, not over will there be white supremacy.
That's why people resonate, because they know I'm real. You know, I'm not perfect. They don't agree with everything I say. They don't like everything about me. Maybe.
You notice he keeps saying, I'm not perfect. Those are words he didn't used to use before. You know, before he got to talk to Candace Owens, he didn't say things like, I'm not perfect. I mean, I'm not a listener of his like that, but I'm pretty sure I feel very confident in what I'm saying. He wasn't running around saying things like, I'm not perfect. Now, ever since the more attention and the more spotlight he gets, every time you turn around, he keeps saying, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Yet he doesn't say what the alleged flaw is. Now, if you're going to say the things that people are criticizing you about, those are the flaws. Oh, well, then, you need to say that part, but you're not saying that. So he keeps saying, I'm not perfect, without saying what the flaw is. If being a Nazi is the reason you're not perfect, you can't say I'm not perfect because I'm a Nazi, but there's nothing wrong with being a Nazi. Then why are you apologizing? You're not perfect. If it's okay to be a Nazi and a white supremacist, then how can you say it's okay to be that and then say you're not perfect? Either that or you like being a bad person. Once again, nobody's going to back a clown who says he's happy and proud to be a bad person. So I'm not perfect. You won't tell us what's so imperfect about you, dude. You're missing it.
Can we just the level of gaslighting and psychological warfare that has been waged against the American people, it's just enough. That's why people resonate, because they know I'm real. You know, I'm not perfect. They don't agree with everything I say. They don't like everything about me. Maybe they just think I'm funny, but I'm funny because I'm real, because there's not a pretense. I'm not playing a character. I'm not changing my views every other year. Okay. So I've like, you know, to get it from Shapiro is one thing. Okay, he works for Israel. Very simple, very straightforward. In some ways, it's more honest. But this shit, this I can't stand.
And this is so true. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay, I'm not sorry you're interrupting. Just stuff it, but let's not have all that.
These, you know, running these little games, doing these. I promise I'm almost finished here, but these like subtle little digs they take at me, bringing up the Nazi stuff all the time. It's like,
okay, Nick, you were proud of that. Do you see what I mean, folks? I mean, he's taking offense at his own damn words. He's not upset because they're saying something different. They're playing his words. They're quoting him. And why is he so angry about it? They're quoting him and saying his words, and he's angry. I really get upset they keep quoting me. Dude, what are you talking about? You're angry because they keep playing your words. They keep quoting. They keep bringing up the Nazi stuff. You brought up the Nazi stuff. Now you're angry that they're quoting your Nazi stuff? You brought it up. You said Hitler was a great guy. You said you admired Hitler. You're the one who said that. You're the one who tried to diminish the Holocaust and the Nazi death camps. You're the one who did that. So stand on it. Now they're saying stand on it. I wish they would quit bringing that up. Oh, so now you don't want to stand on it anymore. When you thought nobody was listening, you said all manner of wild things. Now that people showed you that they were listening and they're bringing you to the front. So to say, by the way, can you repeat that one more time? Now you're saying you don't want to talk about that anymore. Now he's angry that they're bringing up his words.
Let me know in the comments.
You know, and I don't like the feeling of being used and manipulated. I don't like the feeling of people, you know, running these little games, doing these. I promise I'm almost finished here, but these like subtle little digs they take at me, bringing up the Nazi stuff all the time. It's like, yeah, I don't know if you really get it. So anyway, I've been very pissed off about the whole. I feel like the whole thing was an op. I feel like the whole damn thing was an op. And that's why the message is.
By the way, remember those words. I want you all to remember those words. He just said, remember them. He just said he feels like the whole thing was an op. So I feel like the whole thing was a psyop. Remember those words that he says that he feels like the whole thing was a psyop. We're going to come back to that.
Yeah, I don't know if you really get it. So anyway, I've been very pissed off about the whole. I feel like the whole thing was an op. I feel like the whole damn thing was an op. And that's why the message is never relent. We're going to, no, sorry. The moderation, if you thought that was happening, that has just been canceled. That has been permanently foreclosed. We are identitarian. We are.
Oh, so now you're admitting that you watered yourself down and you softened your positions and your stance when you got some mainstream microphones put in your face. Oh, you were moderating yourself. Oh, so now he's admitting that what everyone saw, that's exactly what they saw. As I said, he's trying to firm back up his support among the base. The base said that he got soft and wobbly when he talked to Tucker Carlson, that this was not the Nick Fuentes they've been talking to before. Oh, so now he admits it. What I said he was gonna do, what I told you he did. Oh, now he's admitting that that's what he was doing, but it didn't work out the way he hoped it would. So now he wants to do a 180.
Stuff all the time. It's like, yeah, I don't know if you really get it. So anyway, I've been very pissed off about I feel like the whole thing was an op. I feel like the whole damn thing was an op. And that's why the message is never relent. We're going to, no, sorry. The moderation, if you thought that was happening, that has just been canceled. That has been permanently foreclosed. We are identitarian. We are pro-white. Christ is king. The billionaires must have their power taken from them.
We are identitarian. We are pro-white. Which means that basically you only represent about 25% of the population as far as political persuasion. So in other words, you represent a woeful minority, a minority that is on the outside, a minority that can't find any sort of elevation, a minority that can't be amplified. So in other words, you will be permanently weak and then receding into inconsequentiality again. You are not going to get the other 75% of society to join hands with a Nazi calling himself identitarian. Remember, Richard Spencer and the alt-right, that's right in the chat room, Richard Spencer and the alt-right, the identitarian movement, remember from just a decade ago. Same bag of trash, just a new corner they put it on. Same bag of trash. Folks, I mean, the bottom line is there's a hardcore following that will watch your stuff online, but there are not enough of you to be able to change the society. There's not enough of you to be able to do that. You are not going to get the non-white population and most of the white population to go along with you. Trump did not get reelected because he's so great. He got reelected because Biden and Harris were so terrible. And you have confused yourselves into thinking that, see, black people love Nazis. Why? Because you hung out with Kanye West and Myron Mushmouth Gaines. That's not the way that works. I told everybody that they were going to grossly misinterpret exactly what happened in the election, which is exactly what they done. And now they are talking as stupid and irrational as to say that they think that all of us are going to come and support the identitarian white supremacists. Like we're going to sit at the table with him and find common cause. How the hell do I sit at the table with a white supremacist and find common cause? Because you see, even if you say he has a problem with quote unquote the government, he only has a problem with the government in regard to if it benefits us. He has no problem with the government being as big, tyrannical, and evil as it wishes to be, so long as it promotes him and the white supremacist identitarians. But the only problem he has with the government is the part of it that doesn't benefit him. So when he talks about us going against the government, he doesn't mean going against the whole thing. He just means just against the parts he doesn't like. In other words, the parts that benefit us. That's the only part he got a problem with. Everything else can stay. So how do you find, there's no way in the world, you're not going to sit up here and make this real vague and abstract and, well, you know, about the government does this, the government overreaches. Okay, well, yeah, but your only problem with the government is that the government, in your opinion, isn't white supremacist enough. See, we're here to dismantle white supremacy. Your only gripe against the government is that you don't think it's Nazi enough. You don't think it's white supremacist enough. So we can't sit at the table and break bread and find common cause because you are completely anathema to what we're doing.
Period. And they take at me, bringing up the Nazi stuff all the time. It's like, yeah, I don't know if you really get it. So anyway, I've been very pissed off about I feel like the whole thing was an op. I feel like the whole damn thing was an op. And that's why the message is never relent. We're going to, no, sorry. The moderation, if you thought that was happening, that has just been canceled. That has been permanently foreclosed. We are identitarian. We are pro-white. Christ is king. The billionaires must have their power taken from them. Period. End of story. Yes, it does have something to do with this theological battle. You might not want to address that. It might make you uncomfortable, but that's what's going on. What else are we supposed to conclude when we see week after week Republican Coalition, World Congress, North American Federation, Conference of Major American Organizations, and we see one after the other, Ronald Lauder, Mark Levin, Randy Fine, Barry Weiss, Ben Shapiro, one after the other, they take the stage and say, we're going to make our decisions. We're going to use our position and resources. We're sick of hearing about Gaza. America will fall. America will get what it deserves. How much more of that do you need to see before you understand what's going on? It's so obvious. And by the way, everybody gets it. They're trying to get you to not get it. Everybody sees it. They're trying to trick you. And they're trying to conflate that. We don't hate them, and we don't hate them because of who they are or how they were born. We don't hate anybody. But this sick shit has to stop. This state within a state that they have, it's what it is. This nation within a nation, it's not American. It's un-American. It's disloyal. It's not right. It's not just. And it's killing our country. And it.
All right, let me go ahead and debunk another thing right here, because white supremacists by definition are liars. That's who they are. That's what they have to be. Remember, Fuentes says pro-white. You can't have somebody make that statement and then walk by it. You then you have to get them to define, wait, who is white? You got to get them to define who the whites are. So you see, Fuentes doesn't really want to get into that Jewish discussion, because then he's going to have to get into, by the way, the issue isn't just religious. The issue is you're not actually white. So he is diligently going to want to avoid that conversation. He's going to diligently want to avoid that, because that's not going to work for him here. Well, folks, I could let the rest of this play. Matter of fact, I'll let a little bit more of this play, and then we are going to get to a little bit of something else here.
Has to stop immediately, and someone has to call it out for what it is. I don't want to hear any more equivocation. I don't want to hear any more qualification. People say the secular state of Israel's governmental policies. Really? What role in that does Larry Ellison and Barry Weiss and Yoram Mazzoni have? Nothing. They're here. They're born in America. They have American citizenship. They use our system to help themselves and Israel. It's bigger than that, and everyone knows it. Why, oh why, is Eric Weinstein in Italy, in Rome, flipping off the Arch of Titus if they don't think like how I say they think? So the law of the land is America first. And if you can't get down with that, you cannot have power in this country. You can have your life, and you can have your rights, and you can have your liberty. And I don't think anybody should bother you. But you cannot have power over Americans if you don't put America first. It's that simple. Does that make me anti-Semitic? Tucker Carlson, tell me where I'm going wrong.
And this is a very good.
Okay, so like I said, he can't just let Tucker go, man. He has to let Tucker know, by the way, this bud's for you. This bud's for you, Tucker. Tucker didn't stand strong enough, but it wouldn't matter what Tucker had done. Nick Fuentes does not want to be partners with Tucker Carlson. Nick Fuentes does not want to be partners with the Republicans. He wants to overthrow them. He wants to overthrow them. So that is why any of your entreaties or any of your attempts to make good with him, it won't work, because it can't work. He does not want to join forces with you. He wants to supplant you and replace you. So anything and everything that he can do to diminish you, that's what he's going to do. So there is no making nice with him. If you give him an opening, he's only going to use it to undermine you. He does not want to be your subordinate. He wants to be your commander. even if he's not qualified to be.
America first, and like this is the reason why.
Without making a face, please. Lot of lies. But we will only have the truth. We will honor the American people with only the truth. That's what it is. These people have no business here. You know, Josh Hammer, Israeli wife. Ben Shapiro, Israeli wife. Sheldon Adelson, Israeli wife. Barry Weiss, trained in Israel. Yoram Mazzoni lives in Israel. What's going on with all that? I don't like it. Nobody can. It's un-American. So anyway, that's that. We're out of time. No, but what are we going to talk about tonight? On with all that. I don't like it. Nobody can. It's un-American. So anyway, that's that. We're out of time. No.
I want to freeze that frame right there. Want to freeze that frame right there. Want to do that. Definitely want to go ahead and have that. So that was Nick Fuentes taking full-blown shots at Tucker Carlson. So glad to see everybody's getting along. Now, of course, some of you were wondering, has Tucker Carlson responded? Some of you are wondering that. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and open the Zoom here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Zoom here so that Mitch Gilmore can go ahead and get on Zoom for us here. So we'll give him 2 minutes to be on Zoom or he'll be removed. So we're going to go ahead and get Mitch Gilmore up here so that he can explain that to everybody. But yeah, folks, that was Nick Fuentes letting you know what the deal is, and that for Tucker Carlson, the beef is on. That was Nick Fuentes letting Tucker Carlson know that the beef is all the way on. It is not off at all, dude. It is all the way up. It is all the way up. You sat a snake at your table. There's the link to the Zoom in the chat room there. So Mitch Gilmore has 2 minutes to be on Zoom. Remember, if you hide from being on Zoom, just remember, I don't have to debunk you. You debunked and destroyed yourself, which is what we bring this up here for. So Nick is spazzing out because it's not working out for him. Now, there were those of you who are asking, well, Jason, did Tucker Carlson respond? Did Tucker Carlson respond? Well, I think Tucker did. Jason, you think he did? Well, yeah. Not 1,000% certain that he did. But I'm fairly certain that Tucker Carlson responded because over on Tucker Carlson's YouTube page a day ago, just 1 day ago, this is what's on Tucker Carlson's YouTube page, on his post page, just a day ago. Oh man, Tucker Carlson says that he is got some new merch. Tucker Carlson is selling some new merch. Sorry, I thought you were a Fed. Remember, Tucker Carlson said that Nick Fuentes must be a Fed. Remember? Tucker Carlson originally said that Nick Fuentes must be a Fed. Remember? Oh boy. So Tucker is saying, sorry, comma, I thought you were a Fed. If that comma was missing, that would be an apology. But no, sorry, I thought you were a Fed. If you can't afford the sweater, they've got the t-shirt. Sorry, I thought you were a Fed. But wait, it's not done yet. Realer than a psy-op. Damn! Remember, I told you, remember what Fuentes said about the PSYOP thing? I told you, remember what Fuentes said about it all feels like an op. It all feels like an op. Well, Tucker has another t-shirt, realer than a PSYOP. Oh, man. I don't know, folks. I mean, he put this up just a day ago, so did Tucker respond to Fuentes? You tell me. You tell me. 'Tis the season. What? Well, what is this, Tucker? What we doing here? What we doing here, Tucker? What we doing here? I don't know, y'all. I'll let you decide what this means. I don't know what we doing here, but well, what is this about? Oh, we brought the mug too, so I don't know, man. You tell me. Are they throwing subs? You tell me if Tucker responded. Y'all tell me. Based on what I've shown you here, you tell me if Tucker is responding. You tell me. So the civil war over there on the right, people, it is in full-blown open rebellion. You thought they were going to make nice for a little bit. I told you the only thing they can really keep doing is fighting each other. That's the only thing they really can do. And they're not done yet. They are not done yet. If you thought they were done yet, oh, you got another thought coming. You got another thought coming here if you thought they were done just yet, because something else I want to show you. Over there on Milo Yiannopoulos' page, Milo has a video that he posted yesterday. This is Laura Loomer. And Milo said that he had to go look on his hard drive. Former Congressman George Santos, who fresh out the joint, he didn't like this video. He said, Milo, this isn't cool. And Milo says, she is a vile and disgusting pig for whom no indignity is too great. I just found the hard drive on which the complete 27-minute version resides. Maybe I'll upload as a special Thanksgiving treat. This video has 3 million views. I want you all to listen to this if you're not aware of it, and then I will give you context. I'm not going to give you the context first. I want you to watch the video first to see why it has so many views. But by the way, this is Laura Loomer. What? So I don't know if that's supposed to be her natural hair color or whatever, but yeah, I've never seen Laura Loomer looking blonde before, but this is Laura Loomer here. And watch how this interaction goes.
Your hair and your eyes look so good. You're like beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like an Aryan degenerate goddess.
Thank you.
Did you hear that? So she's telling this white dude that your eyes and your hair look so beautiful, like an Aryan degenerate goddess. Okay, but alrighty then, Miss Laura Loomer. I don't know if she's going to be invited for the bar mitzvah after this.
Your hair and your eyes look so good. You're like beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like an Aryan degenerate goddess.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. You're Aryan too.
I know, but I'm Jewish.
It's okay.
Because you're such a cutie.
Don't mess my hair. God damn it. Fix it. Fix my hair. Did you fix it?
I did. But like that picture you posted on Instagram recently when you got like reinstated on Facebook was so hot.
Do you see what she's doing? Now, by the way, she was drunk. You can see that she was drunk. She is right up in dude's face. I mean, I think she's giving him the Beetlejuice breath. He does not look the least bit comfortable. So I'm thinking she's hitting him with the Beetlejuice breath. And the old boy is like, hey, I'm catching contact over here, baby. Can you give me 10 feet? Hey, girl, you right up on me. Can you give me 10? As you can see, she's pulling on his shirt. So, I mean, she's right up on him. She drunk. Breath is fire. He's trying to just hang on. I know that expression. I've had that myself. Can you give me 5 feet? Can you back up? I'm catching contact over here. You're doing too much.
Did you fix it?
I did. But like that picture you posted on Instagram recently when you got like reinstated on Facebook was so hot. Like, seriously.
I appreciate it.
It's so good.
It's a good picture.
Your skin and the Nazis hate me.
It's fun.
The alt-right people want to put me in a gas chamber because they're obsessed with the Jews.
I think they're just memeing on you, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Right.
I don't care. I love it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I know. They're just jealous because I have big tits and an Ashkenazi IQ.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You got it.
Anyway, next time you're in New York, let me know. We'll hang out. Bring your girlfriend to New York sometime and we'll all hang out. We'll go to like really cool restaurants and hang out and we'll have a blast.
Yes, I will bring my girlfriend.
Yeah, I want to meet. What's Becca?
Do y'all see that she has her arm up here? He's got his arms crossed. This fella, I almost feel sorry for him, almost. But, man, he is maximum uncomfortable.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, I want to meet. What's Becca?
Yeah.
Becca.
He's got his arms crossed and she will not let him go. She got that right arm on him. So he's basically being held hostage in a social situation. Somebody send him some help.
Yes,
so
I will bring
fun.
my girlfriend.
Yeah, I want to meet. What's Becca?
Yeah.
Becca.
Yes.
She's so sweet.
You remembered?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, you'll meet her.
You guys are so sweet. I hope it works out because, like I said, I know it's
Old boy back here.
all the knack. Like,
Old boy back here is like, I hope she don't mug him. But the old boy back here is like, what is going on?
I know everything you do on Twitter is like so fake and not real, but
Yeah,
like
it's all fake.
it's so sweet that you like and your girlfriend have been together for 3 years. I love it.
I know, it's all an act.
Do you know something? Like, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Like, do you know so many people in this movement who preach trad life are like fucking people on the side and like cheating on their partners?
That's so bad.
Like, they're not even like really trad life.
Such
like,
scum.
like my ex is like dating somebody who's like super trad life, and she was like fucking my boyfriend while we were dating and like ruined our relationship. And I act like
I mean, do y'all see his head is turned away the whole time? I know the fire breath look it's like, damn girl, you smell like a fifth of hen. She's giving it to him. And the further he tries to get away, the closer she gets. So now she's just all up in his ear. So I bet you he's wishing he went to any bar other than this one that night. I bet you he's wishing he had gone anywhere except this place. He should have stopped somewhere else to get a drink because, yeah, dude, you chose the wrong watering hole this night.
she was like fucking my boyfriend while we were dating and like ruined our relationship. And I act like it's okay, but like it's really sad because like I love when people like keep, tradition in their relationships. It's just really sad.
Okay, so she's just drunk babbling. So in any case here, folks, so you just heard that, and at face value, it looks like just Laura Loomer being her usual annoying self, imposing on other people. But wait, why did Milo think that this was something noteworthy to post? Well, right here's this little symbol for Grok on the post. And when you click it there, it says explain this post. So let's see what Grok has to say about this post. Well, Grok says Milo Yiannopoulos shares a 2-minute video clip of far-right activist, you mean Nazi activist Laura Loomer, appearing intoxicated at a dimly lit bar, awkwardly flirting with neo-Nazi publisher Andrew Anglin. Damn! While touching his hair, now I think she said her own Ashkenazi IQ, amid references to anti-Semitic memes and relationship hypocrisies in their shared ideological circle. Because as I explained to you all that Brett Cooper confirmed what I always said, Turning Point's conferences are just one big white freak off. Turning Point USA's so-called conferences, that means where you at, Megyn Kelly. Pause. Turning Point's conferences are one big freak off. CPAC is one big freak off for squares and awkward people. Oh, don't get mad at me. Brett Cooper admitted that I'm correct. Brett Cooper confirmed I was right. We already did that program, y'all. But yeah, Brett Cooper confirmed that Turning Point is just one big freak off. Everybody's sleeping with everybody. The husbands sleeping with folks' wives, and the wives sleeping with folks' husbands, and some of the husbands are sleeping with other people's husbands. Damn! So yeah, that's what really goes down in these identitarian circles. It's like dating for outrageously awkward individuals. So here is Laura Loomer, drunk and booed up, with Andrew Anglin, who could not look more uncomfortable if he tried. He could not possibly look more uncomfortable in this situation. If it was a hostage scene from an action movie, he looks outrageously uncomfortable. If this man could just slip through the floor and vanish, he would do it. And she's trying to play the succubus, got her arm all over him. So this is not a good look for the Israeli lobby. This right here, I guess this is why Milo posted this, because this is not a good look for the Israeli lobby. This is a not so great look. If you're looking to represent the Israeli lobby, this is not the way, because, I mean, take a look at it. She even got her hair colored like white folks. So this is not the move. Oh, things are going to be real awkward at the AIPAC conference when she gets there. When she shows up at the AIPAC conference this year, it's going to be hella awkward. Hella awkward. But then again, this does show you something else, doesn't it? You see, when people are questioning your sexuality in these white supremacist circles, a lot of these folk who seem to be the most hardcore and extremist, it's because they've got things that people question about them. So when you've got certain traits about you that people question, you try to deflect and distract from that by being super extreme in some other area in order to distract from this nagging little tendency that you have that people got suspicions about you. So in order to divorce them of that, you're going to show them that you're the most macho extreme thing in the room. And but it also goes ethnically there. If you really got a thing for white dudes and that you think that, hey, don't we both hate niggers? You really want white acceptance, but you can't really get white acceptance. So when the lights are down and you think not too many folk are looking, you make your move and you shoot your shot. But yeah, some of this other extreme stuff you do maybe to conceal or hide some of your real tendencies. Yeah, you might be taking shots at the Anglos because you really wish you were one. You really are down for that. I mean, this is giving hella Crystal and Karazhan when you see females acting like that. So, but yeah, according to Grok, she's with a neo-Nazi publisher. But I'm like, by the way, neo-Nazi, wouldn't that be Laura Loomer too, Grok? So wouldn't that be her too? Oh, man. Folks, the extremist right is in full-blown civil war. They are in full full-blown thermonuclear civil war. It is on all the way. Ain't nothing stopping it. Can't nobody hold it back. From here on in, it's all meltdown. It is all nuclear meltdown from here on in. Ain't no fixing this. The beef is on. The beef is on. Because white supremacy is a demonic practice that is founded and based upon who you hate. So you see, it can't function without fueling the nuclear reactor with hate. The so-called white supremacist white power movement can't rise because, you see, you can only rise if you are founded on justice. That's something that you can rise, can aspire to. Degeneracy, you can't rise from that. You can stir up some energy, but it's going to fizzle out. And when you run out of people to fight, you're going to start fighting each other. You will do it with reckless abandon. You will go at each other hammer and tong. You will destroy the movement from the inside out. So where are all the bootlicking, ass-kissing old black media clowns who told all of us about how wrong we were? How bad things were going to get if these folk got power. They told you all how wrong Jason Black was, how wrong the Black Channel was, how wrong Intelligent Black Society was. Notice you ain't heard a peep from those jackasses in the last couple of months. Did y'all notice that? You ain't heard a damn whimper out of them. Well, they can't say that this was some master stroke that they made. This isn't some 4D chess they were playing. See, we were playing 4D chess over here. Them clowns were over there playing Connect 4 and losing. Damn! They were playing Connect 4 and losing. We're playing 4D chess and winning. Championship after championship. It's going down exactly the way I said it would. They didn't use power to solidify their position. They're using power to settle old scores, to settle old grudges, and to go at each other. So why on earth would I want to hold them back? Let them fight. The more attention you give them, the more they try to fight each other for who will reign supreme, and the more they tear each other down. Why would I want to stop them? I saw all of this 5 years ago. I called it when Trump was going for re-election the first time. I called accurately what would happen when Joe Biden got elected. 4 years later, none of my critics or detractors had a damn word to say when it broke down exactly the way I said. And then when I said how Trump's presidency would happen, how things would fall apart within the first 12 calendar months. Folks, you're coming up, well, since the last election, we are at 12 calendar months. We're beyond that. From inauguration, we're coming up on 12 calendar months. Did I call it or did I call it?
And deal with it, nigga.
However, you might disagree. Then again, you might just be a hater, but you might disagree. Therefore, the link to the Zoom is now pinned at the top of the chat room. You are open and invited to give us a call. You are open and invited to give us a call and weigh in here tonight. The Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes beef has heated back up again. They are going at it. It will only get worse from here. Others will join in. Ain't none of them going nowhere. None of them going nowhere, and we're just going to sit back and watch them slug it out. That's where we're going to be. So we're going to go ahead and let you all have your time to do that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed for a nice program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to Nancy King. Thank you very much for your support tonight, Nancy King. Coward crashing out and going crazy. He sounds like a crybaby. His ego's been crushed in half. Better believe it. Cyberdown 100. Thank you very much for your support tonight. We appreciate that. My man, Mr. Richburg. As always, Mr. Richburg, thank you very much for giving your support tonight. Mark B. is doing his thing. So we're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break here, folks. When we come back, you have your opportunity to log in on Zoom. You can sound off on it. The right wing is crashing out. You thought the Civil War was over. I told you don't believe that lie. People is heated back up worse than ever. And this is just the first year. Can you imagine how bad they'll be finger pointing at the end of 2026 when they lose the House and the Senate? Damn. Hang on tight, children. This is the Black Channel.
True masculinity isn't about power, it's about presence. Confidence that's natural, grounded, and real. Begin your ritual with Honey Beauty's Main Magic Beard Wash and Conditioner, infused with the goodness of mangoes and organic botanicals to cleanse deeply, soften, and revive your beard. Follow with Honey Beauty's Main Magic Beard Oil, a powerful blend of natural oils that nourish, strengthen, and add a smooth, confident shine. Complete the look with Honey Beauty's Main Magic Beard and Body Butter. Pure organic hydration that keeps your skin and beard soft, healthy, and refined.
Be the teacher, knowledge on the block. Got the kids learning, minds open like a lock. Books and skills from the east to the west. Bringing education, yeah, we're simply the best. Classes on fire, brains burning with desire. Innovation driving like a tire through the mire. Math, science, history, we got the whole range. Kids hitting new heights, teachers making a change. Used to be the teacher, stacking up the grades. Future bright shining, no need for no shades. Got the youth thriving, moving up the ladder. Smart and sharp, brains growing fatter. Lessons so lit, yeah, they stay in a blaze. Every mind sharp like a sword in the haze. Mr. B in the house breaking knowledge chains. Education kingpin, we repping the games. Listen, be the teacher.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. As the right-wing civil war has flamed up again, and people, it was so easy to predict here. It was so easy to predict. Some of you got weak in the knees. Some of you got wobblies. Some of you listened to these old black media folk. Then again, there were some of you who were just hoping that I would be incorrect about this. And no, that's not all what happened. That's not all. You can't go from one election to another. You don't count things by the hour, people. You have to count things over the years and decades. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And when you take a look at this cast of characters, what's the first thing you see? Let me explain to you, people, why it was so easy to predict. Number one, they are unpredictable. They are unstable as hell. That's the first thing, is that, first of all, this cast of escapees from a mental asylum, they are unstable as hell. They're not just eminently unlikable. They are unstable. They're not in this so much for the cause as they are for self-aggrandizement. So when you've got a bunch of, what's the worst thing you can do with an unstable person? Give them power. People, power isn't morality. Power just simply makes you more of whatever you already are. Whatever you already are, giving you, quote, power is just going to give you more of that. Well, they are unstable. So the only thing more power is going to do is set off the bomb. That's the only thing that feeding power to instability is going to do. It's going to set the bomb off, which is exactly what happened. Every time you feed them power, they become, they are unstable, and then they blow up, and then they go around. It's the only thing that can happen. And your so-called Democrat strategists didn't predict this. Isn't that interesting? Your so-called Democrat strategists and Democrat media people, including wannabes on the internet, looking at you, Roland. How is it that they couldn't predict this? And I told you all years ago that this is exactly what would happen. Why is it? Maybe it's because they don't really want you to elevate. They just want you to give them more of what they already want, because you're supposed to be here to serve them. Let's go ahead and see if we can jump over here on Zoom right quick. Let me get Daryl up here on Zoom. All right, Daryl, what's on your mind?
Good evening, Jason. Thank you for having me. Man, did you call it? Did you call it? Jason, I remember when you was talking on live, those broadcasts. I'll never forget them like they happened yesterday. I saw the situation where right after the election, I think that was about, 30 days or something like that? You saw stuff start skidding. Within 6 months, it was already there, right after the election. Jason, I can't.
Well, truth be told, it was skidding before the election. I mean, all the signs were there, because
yes, it was.
Your number one concrete sign that everything was going to fall apart before it could even really get together was that hostage situation with Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley at the RNC convention. I mean, they were both brought there to cheerlead for Trump, with Trump making it very clear that he don't F with neither one of you two. So when you saw that occurring, you already knew, when he gets elected, that's it. Y'all all going overboard, which is exactly what occurred, is exactly what happened. So all the signs were there that it was just going to be a repeat of what we had seen before. Vivek Ramaswamy was the idiot in the room who thought the white supremacists liked him. You and I both been black long enough to know that one never works. No matter how hard you try that one, that ain't gonna, you can't kiss their asses enough to get them to like you. So they will keep you here long enough for you to be useful. And the second that your usefulness has expired, out you go. As a matter of fact, they might throw you out right before that. You saw that one coming. And as far as Elon Musk, I'm like, dude, Trump does not have a co-presidency. All these media people talking about co-president. Trump's ego ain't gonna have that. Dude, your days are numbered. I told you all, Elon gonna be next to go. He will not be here. I told everybody, anybody dumb enough to think he's gonna be able to stick around. No, you saw that when you had the damn CEO of Exxon.
Yes, sir.
The CEO of Exxon was in Trump's first administration, and Rex Tillerson couldn't stay.
That's right.
Rex Tillerson got run out of town. Now, if the CEO of Exxon is expendable, Elon Musk damn sure is.
That's right.
And that's exactly, brother, this isn't even me predicting nothing. This is rereading the news. I'm not predicting it. We already saw this. We already saw this. This is a rerun, brother. This is not me predicting next week's program, and this is a rerun. I'm like, you don't see this coming? While Roland is telling y'all this is going to be the Fourth Reich and it's going to be the 1,000-year rule. And I'm like, dude, it's not going to be 1,000-day rule.
That's right.
I'll let you have the last word.
Jason, you're so right on that. We knew that way before the election. That oh my gosh, that was just, it already had crashed and burned. It was still cindering when the election hit. But the bottom line is, we appreciate everything that you do, bro. And again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You brought a lot of light to a lot of things, but at the same time, we've been staying on code. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving the call tonight. Yeah, folks, I mean, I'm not predicting things at this point. We're just reruns of the news. It's just reruns. You've seen this before. These other folks up here and try to scare you. They try to scare you and frighten you. Oh, Trump gonna get you. Trump's gonna get himself. Trump is gonna get himself, and he already is. Everybody around him is out for him. All his folk are already out for him over there, man. Let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. Let's see if we can get Huey Freeman up here on Zoom for me one time. All right, Huey, what's on your mind?
Not much, brother. Wonderful broadcast as always. I just have a quick question for you. What do you think after Donald Trump's 4 years is going to be like for America as a whole, especially us as Black folks? For me, I believe that we're not like deeply infected because I believe that we're currently at the bottom. So only thing we can do is just go up. We are still going to push to demand our power and demand what's owed to us. So I look at this as it's like everything's like swung so far to the right in regarding what Trump, like it's going to be kind of like it's going to be like something that happened to Biden when everything got swing to the left, it went back to the right. Now everything's to the right, it's going to swing back to the left.
Overseas for now, though.
Well, that's definitely what happens is because these things are cyclical. So that's the first thing right there is these things are cyclical. It goes back and forth. So, I mean, nothing's going to freeze in position like that. That's not what occurs. When it comes to Donald Trump, for example, you say what's going to happen at the end of his 4 years. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. When I take a look at what his health and his mental condition is looking like, I'm like, I don't assume there's going to be a 4 years. So that's my first answer when people ask me about the 4 years. I'm like, well, assuming he makes it through 4 years, assuming that actually occurs, it's going to be general chaos. Hell, it already is. So right now it's going to be a scramble for the ball. I said this before Trump got elected. I said there's no way in the world that he's thinking longevity by choosing J.D. Vance to be his vice president. J.D. Vance was originally a never-Trumper. J.D. Vance has no power base. He doesn't have the ability to assemble one. He has picked up all of Trump's worst, most extremist positions, guaranteeing that he'll never be president himself. So Trump doesn't have to be scared of J.D. Vance. J.D.'s already been neutralized. I told y'all, Trump is never going to choose a vice president who can amass power for himself. Mike Pence couldn't do it. Not wouldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He didn't have the personality to do it. J.D. Vance, same thing. So Trump only chose people this time who were lackeys and flunkies and non-threats. J.D. Vance is not a threat at all. Now he never will be. Marco Rubio, sycophantic ass kisser. He's not a threat now and he won't be. So basically, Trump is considering this to be the last presidency of the United States. He's here to prop up as many scams as he can so him and his family can cash out. That's the only thing he's here for now, is to get the Camp family cashed out as much as humanly possible. This is the most naked, corrupt, financially corrupt presidency we've probably ever seen in the history of man, but certainly in the United States. This is the most nakedly corrupt administration that has ever entered the White House. And I think that at the end of his presidency, the American people are going to be sick to death of it. I think the American people will be outrageously sickened of it. And they are going to be done with MAGA and all this nonsense. They're going to want something else. Whether or not the Democrats can provide a viable alternative is very much in question. If they get Gavin Newsom, then the Republicans have a very good chance of getting back in office again. If they get somebody else with some sense, who doesn't come across as some left-wing West Coast jackass, then they might be able to pull the nose up on this plane. They might be able to. But Trump wants there to be chaos. Because remember, I told you, he is setting up his kids to run. He's setting up his kids to run, and a Republican Party in chaos gives his kids the best chance to take over. So look for one of them to run for governor or senate. Look for one of them to run for governor or senate. And he's going to want to make sure he makes that possible. So he is doing all this. I told y'all this, but I told you this last year. I'm telling you, especially Eric. I'm just letting y'all know this. He's setting up for his family. He's setting up for what comes after him. He's really, I mean, between Eric, Laura, and Barron, it's going to be between those three. Eric, Laura, although I probably think it's going to be and Laura. That Laura probably going to do something down there in Florida. So I'm expecting that Trump is going to try to move the chessboard. You know, he really wants to fight with this redistricting thing because he wants to be able to control at the state level. I mean control, not, influence. He wants to be able to directly pick it. So right now, for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be resigning. That means the governor of Georgia will be able to select someone to take her place. He's going to be able to select someone. You get that? He'll be able to choose somebody. I think that is what Trump really wants. He doesn't really want to have to fight with an election. He wants to be so deep off in the paint that basically they can appoint somebody and choose somebody so that his family doesn't even have to run, to be totally honest. They'll just put them in office, and then from there, they just have to keep getting reelected. So I right now, if you ask me who I see as the three, and I've always talked about Eric, I mean, that one's just been nakedly obvious. But between him, Laura, I've always talked about her. I don't give a damn about in-laws, nothing else. I've always talked about her. It's very nakedly obvious about her in Florida. If he can pull it off, he's going to do it. And then Barron is the long money. He's the long money. They're looking at him for like a decade from now, which is smart to do, by the way, like the Kennedys. Trump wants to set up like the Kennedy dynasty. So between the two who are ready now, and if it don't crack off with them, you got Barron in the wings. So that's basically what I see forming. And Trump is setting up for that. He don't give a damn about the Republican Party. He's only concerned about how this benefits his bloodline directly. The party can go to hell and burn. He'll be like, it doesn't matter. I'll just direct another one. And we'll be running that.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Jason, for the points. That's all the questions that I have. Only thing that I'm thinking about is that if Democrats do become elected, man, anything can happen. Like you mentioned on your last broadcast about them reducing the age of consent to 16. So, yeah, anything can happen.
The problem for the Democrats is that they do great now until you put the microphone in front of their faces. Sure. If all you do is read a headline or a tweet, they're okay. As soon as they start talking, oh, that's why we hate you. They just like Kamala Harris. As soon as they start talking, they remind you all the reasons they hate them. They remind you of everything you don't like about them. And I have very little reason to think they're not going to repeat that. You know, they're going to get a little breath of fresh air under them, and they're going to go right back to their degenerate Sodom and Gomorrah stuff and remind everybody why you hate them. And I have a very strong inkling that'll happen. Josh Shapiro is very obviously trying to position himself, but he's stumbling and bumbling. And it's just like, dude, you have all this time to prepare and you ain't ready either. But remember what I told you all, the Democrats are going to be like, well, okay, we stink, but we don't have to be great. We just have to be a better alternative than the Republicans. That's the triangulation they're trying to make. Well, as long as we're better than the Republicans, we'll win. The lesser of the two evils. That's what they're banking on. Well, yeah, we suck, but we're not as bad as Trump, so elect us. And I don't know how much of an appetite the country will have for that after all this time. The election of Mamdani in New York is showing you that people are willing to go in a third direction. The American public's kind of finally really had it with Republicans and Democrats. They can't really see a difference between the two. They're sick of the shell game. And all it's really doing is opening up a third lane for somebody else if they want to do that. In reality, that's what Trump is. Trump is a third-party candidate. In reality, he's a third-party candidate who took over the Republican Party, but the American people have already signaled they're ready for something else. So these other people are going to wind up putting themselves out of business. They keep this up.
Cool. All right, Jason, thank you very much, brother, man. You have a good one. Thank you for the wisdom and the advice.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, man, these folks are going to put themselves out of business. Oh, yeah, one more thing here. I did want to show you here. One more thing, folks. By the way, did I call it or did I call it? I'm not the only one who is seeing that. This from Sky News here a couple of days ago. I saw this and I said, okay, All right. Even they are acknowledging rumors that Marjorie Taylor Greene will run for governor. I said it. I said it the day that she was out there. I was talking about this before that. But when she's all about resigning, I was just like, yes, she's not acting like somebody resigning. She's acting like somebody positioning herself for something else. Also, one other thing, because there are a lot of folks saying that why doesn't she just wait until her term, is up? Because of course she can run for governor next year. So do you all see that it fits hand in glove? Marjorie Taylor Greene resigns from Congress at the beginning of next year. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is in his last year as governor of Georgia. Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing Governor Kemp a favor. We don't know what Brian Kemp wants to do after he's governor. Brian Kemp might want to run for something else. So if Marjorie steps down now, she's doing Brian Kemp a favor by allowing Brian Kemp to choose who her successor will be. It won't be a fight with Trump. Trump won't be able to fight about it. Governor Kemp will be able to appoint somebody. So it's really putting a lot of power in Kemp's hands. So it's doing him a favor. And if he wants to make any backroom deals or whatever to get support for himself, he can do that in the background. He's leaving office as governor. He's going to serve out 2026. So he's not going to be able to run for Congress or Senate next year. Okay, but he can position himself for after that, 2028 or whatever he wants to do. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she's doing right now fits hand in glove with Governor Kemp. It works for him and it works for her. So she steps out of Congress. Governor Kemp gets to choose who her successor is. He can get them to make a handshake deal that they're going to help him whatever he's going to do next. So they become the congressmen who will be able to help him either go to Congress or the Senate. Brian Kemp leaves office in 2026. Marjorie Taylor Greene runs for governor of Georgia in 2026. So she gets out of the way for Congress so he can appoint the successor. He gets out of the way in Georgia so she can run, and then her successor and her can support him for running in 2028. Now, does that series of events make logical sense to all of you? When you just think about straight politics and power. Now, does that make sense? By the way, you did not hear any of your other so-called pundits, the old dead black media, nigga, give me a break. You didn't hear any of them lay out the chess moves and lay out the pathway like I just said. Folks, remember, let me go ahead and remind you, Governor Rod Blagojevich of Illinois, remember he went to prison because he made a deal for who was going to get Barack Obama's Senate seat. Being able to appoint somebody to Congress, to bypass the elections and be able to appoint somebody to Congress, a governor who can appoint someone to Congress or appoint someone to the Senate. Man, look here. Blagojevich told you, man, this is money in the damn bank. This gold, dude. I got this golden thing here. So it's been like that, dude. So when I tell you Marjorie Greene is getting ready to hand something very valuable to Governor Kemp. If Governor Kemp has future political aspirations, being able to appoint someone as a congressman, man, look here, that's the best thing you can have if you have aspirations going into the future. He can set up the folk he wants. So her stepping down works out great for Brian Kemp for his future. And if she talks to him, hint, hint, when you step down next year, I can run for governor. And then me and whoever you support, we got your back in 2028. And we will finally have a rear flank that can overthrow Trump. We can break, you and me can break the Trump dynasty. Remember, Trump was throwing all them shots at Governor Kemp last year. He was throwing all those shots at Governor Kemp last year. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, ain't no love lost between Brian Kemp and Trump. Kemp took the high road, but ain't no love lost. So this situation right here, Governor Kemp could set up a trifecta here that gives him political power going into Congress, and he'll have the wind at his back. He'll have the support of his congressman in Georgia, and he'll have the support of the governor of Georgia. He could be either a congressman or a senator who has the support of both the congressman and the governor of Georgia. And Raphael Warnock will just be sitting there looking crazy by himself. So yeah, when I explain the pathway like that, you say, oh damn, that makes all the sense in the world. And they can outmaneuver Trump in a state that Trump needs. They need Georgia. And if Brian Kemp and Marjorie Taylor Greene play their cards right, they can take Trump's influence away from Trump in Georgia. A state that if he wants anything for his kids or his successors, they got to have Georgia. If Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kemp get Georgia sewn up, that's it for Trump. That's it. The Trump dynasty is done. It's done. They're out of here. That'll be over. The Democrats are going to fight like hell to start tipping Texas purple. There's actually a pathway to do that, by the way, believe it or not. If the Republicans break him in Georgia, man, look here, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania. The only thing he'll still have solid is Florida, but Florida will be isolated. So yeah, when you think of it like that, damn. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the most if you missed last week's program, Marjorie Taylor Greene is the most well-known politician in America other than Donald Trump. She is the most well-known Georgia politician in Georgia. Marjorie Taylor Greene is more high profile than Brian Kemp. You can't tell me one piece of news about Brian Kemp in the last 2 years. You can't name a single thing. You can name plenty about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You can't name a single significant thing about Brian Kemp in the last 2 years. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the most well-known, well-recognized Georgia politician in the entire state of Georgia. Hell yeah, she can be the governor. Why do you think folks are already talking about her running for governor? Because hell yeah, she can get it. Pause. So absolutely, yes, she can get it. And her and the Republican Party desperately want a post-Trump era because they know that he's not looking out for anybody but himself. So yes, the Republican Party desperately wants somebody who can break Trump's stranglehold, and they think Marjorie Taylor Greene could be the one who can do it. So if she can become governor of Georgia, that's it. The Trump dynasty is over. He can go back to selling his crap crypto coins and late night infomercials for the latest pair of thermal socks. That's where he'll be. And there will be plenty of establishment Republicans happy to see him there. By the way, they will be thrilled to see him there. Let's jump back over here on Zoom right quick. Let me get my man Blanco up here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Blanco?
Hey, what's up, Jason? Great broadcast. When it comes down to NTG and Brian Kemp and the future of the parties and whatnot, I'm going to use the analogy of like 80s and 90s basketball. The reason why the government, just like that judge that was caught texting Jeffrey Epstein a few months back. So what they do is they don't want to have any more Allen Iversons, any more Scottie Pippens and whatnot, in the sense that you can't control Allen Iverson. You can control these rich kids that grow up in these basketball homes. You can control them because all they know is a rich life. So it's the same way with like NTG and Tucker Carlson. By the time you see them on TV running or whatever it is, they already have something on them. You're not going to get far if they don't have something on you.
Yeah, I mean that's the way politics is done. These are political groups. They get together. They select somebody that they can knock off. They don't want loose cannons. They don't want loose cannons. They don't want you messing up the hustle. They got a whole damn system here, and they don't really want anybody who can genuinely bust nothing up. So they hopefully got something on you. And if they ain't got something on you, they're going to try to put something on you. George Santos, Andrew Gillum. I mean, it goes down the damn. They know who they're appointing. I mean, I'm telling you, remember, I was up there in New York. I got it on video. I got Alvin Bragg drinking. I got Letitia James sitting up there and whatnot. It's everything y'all think it is. It's everything you all think it is. And that's just New York. New York's not an anomaly. I mean, they was in the open with it in Albany. So, yeah, that's exactly what they do, man. That's in politics. So, if you get backed by the party, it is usually going to be because they got a way to shut you down if they need to. They got a way to do that. So, yeah, you got to be kind of dirty for them to let you through here. Now, every once in a while, there might be somebody who slips through. Every once in a while, there might be a wild card that slips through. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is one. She's a wild card who slipped through. Okay, but as soon as she got through, what did they do? Okay, isolate her little ass. Isolate her. First thing, she got through, but Nancy Pelosi on 60 Minutes openly attacking another Democrat? I mean, openly attacking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. What's up with that? Oh, you a little wild card. We know how to deal with wild cards. So they ganged up on her. Now that Nancy is out the damn paint, a lot of folks is worried. I don't think that Alexandria is going to do much. They're talking about her taking Schumer's seat. I actually don't think that can happen. She's going to be in a whole different neighborhood trying to get that. I mean, I'm just going to say it like it is. Do you all think the Jewish lobby is going to let you knock off Schumer and put AOC in his seat? Do you think they're going to let you do that? I mean, look what they did to Jamal Bowman. So you mean to tell me that they knocked off Jamal Bowman, but they just going to sit back and let AOC take a senior Jewish senator seat? So we hear, you think that's going to happen? Okay. All right. You think that's going to occur? Okay. Because you heard some jackass on CNN asking the question, could that be? So you think they just going to sit back and let that happen? All right. Okay. All right. All those developers and whatnot in New York, and you think that's going to, okay. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
It's one of those things, Jason, where I'll lay my plane with this. You know, I appreciate you taking the call. Like, these people, Nick Fuentes, for example, the day Charlie Kirk was killed, he went on, he was supposed to go on someone else's thing that's not important. He went on that night and he spoke on, you know, the incident that happened, right? And so he said immediately, but I don't believe Israel did this. Okay, well, if you just saw the clip 30 seconds ago that you were just playing, you're proud of being an anti-Semite. So wait a minute. Israel is not responsible. And, you know, we don't have to get into that. But what I'm saying is he already got the call. As much as an anti-Semite as Nick is, he's still a bought and paid for shill in some kind of way. Again, they don't let you just be here with your opinions if they don't have something on you, the way that he's being, you know, broadcasted like that.
Well, I think in Nick's case, he's already been isolated. He doesn't have any power. He can try to play spoiler. That's all he can really do. That's why Nick, you can't, if you're on the right, you're an idiot if you trust him. I said this before. I said it before. I keep repeating it. Nick doesn't have power to do anything except block other people on the right. He can't beat the left. He's never been able to do that. All he can really do is mess you up if you're on the right. So the most he can do is play spoiler. He can play the spoiler on the right, but he can't do anything besides that. Look, when Charlie Kirk got killed, I mean, a whole bunch of folks was shook. Whole bunch of folks was shook because we need to be totally honest here. Tyler Robinson was in Groyper circles. I mean, his online trail, clearly, he was in Groyper discords and whatnot, and Nick knew this. Nick probably knew this before any of us found out. Hey, that guy's, look up his screen name. Hey, they probably already knew him. Hey, that's Tyler. Oh, man, they're going to come for us. So Nick was very worried. He was very worried, and rightfully so, he should be. Once he realized, or at least thought, he's come to the conclusion that that's not going to happen. They're not really going to hang this on him. That's when he started getting more buck about it. But never forget, folks, Tyler Robinson was in Groyper Discords. They already talked about that. For those of you who missed it, go Google it. He was already there. So that's what's going on in that regard. Nick is a bomb thrower. He's on the outside. He ain't got nothing to lose. He can't run for office. The media is grossly exaggerating his influence because the media wants nice, neat little narratives they can wrap their heads around that fit in a 40-character headline. So the media is very, very predisposed to just say things like that. But the truth of the matter is Nick knows how weak he is, and Nick knows how radioactive he is, because when he did come out, he wasn't that dude you heard on Rumble. I mean, he was real moderating and conciliatory, and everybody was like, well, Nick is kind of softening up there and whatnot. Well, yeah, that's the whole point. Now that they've let him know that they ain't really going to let him in like that, now Nick is spazzing out again. So he's going back and retreating to the only power he has, which is to attack folk on the right. And that's what you're seeing now. And yes, he was attacking Charlie Kirk too. And as you can see, there wasn't any real daylight between Nick and Charlie Kirk. There really wasn't, except on the issue of Israel. That was really the only real daylight between them. But it wasn't that much damn daylight. You know, the real issue is that Nick wished he could have been Charlie. He thought that was going back during the Charlottesville white supremacist uprising riot. Nick thought that was going to be him. And that wasn't him, because it couldn't be. He couldn't be Charlie Kirk. But he's been very resentful because he looks at Charlie Kirk and says, that was supposed to be me. And since he couldn't get it, now he's just taking out on everybody else. So you can't trust him. You can't saddle up to him. You can't snuggle up to him, because you can't, or you won't give him what he really wants. And right, you can't give him what he wants. I mean, if you do, that's the end of your damn party. You can't give Nick Fuentes what he really wants. He wants legitimacy. Nick Fuentes wants to be legitimate. And you can't give him that. If you legitimize Nick Fuentes, you might as well tell the Democrats to stay in the White House for the next 50 years, because that's exactly what's going to happen. So, but as long as you won't legitimize him, he's going to keep attacking you from the far right. So they are stuck literally between the white supremacist grinning devil and the deep blue-eyed sea. I'll let you have the last word.
Just a quick question, just to wrap it up. Do you think that Trump can, and the base, I guess, do you think they can make it one more year going into 27?
Blanco, you get judged on results. And so far, Trump has been very chaotic. It has been aimless. There is no strategy at work. Nobody can figure out what the hell he's doing. You lose people. When people see you got a strategy and they see it's very direct and they can all understand exactly what you're doing, they can support you even if there's some pain and some discomfort in doing so, because they understand why they're doing it. Nobody understands why you're supporting tariffs. No one understands why you're supporting blowing up boats in Venezuela. Nobody understands what in the deep fat fried hell is going on in Ukraine. Nobody understands that. No one understands any of it. And the big beautiful bill, you got all your traction out of that as soon as it passed. You don't get to keep getting traction out of it. You already got it. So the problem is nobody knows what's really going on. Nobody feels like there's a chess move or a master plan. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is attacking him on that. She said, people, there is no chess move. When she said that, I'm like, oh, she going for the jugular. People, there is no chess move. There is no 4D chess. There ain't nothing. This is an aimless administration just doing things. There's only one thing they've been very, very cohesive about: stealing stuff for his family. Now that much we can all track right there. That there's a very straight, short line between those things. But for all the rest of this stuff, brother, we don't know what the hell is happening. And the reason this is problematic is because you can be chaotic if you get results. Nobody's gonna argue with you as long as you win. Winning cures everything. Winning cures everything. So people will back you if you're chaotic, but you're winning. I mean, it's an ugly win, but they're like, hey, a win's a win. If he were getting results, that would be different. You've already had 1 year of no real results. At the end of 2 years, you won't have any support. Nobody's going to hang out with you for 2 years waiting for the chess move to work out. Niggas used to do that till we here in the new black media got them off of that. Obama going to get things straight in his second term. But so most other folks don't operate that way. So at the end of year 1, nobody sees where this is going anywhere. By the end of year 2, if they don't see some very radical positive results, they're going to be like, yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. And then at that point, the whispers will become out in the street and openly expressed, and he won't be able to bull-jive his way through it. And at that point, other Republican politicians will be like, there's blood in the water, and he's not running again anyway. And the real problem is, if he doesn't get results, he becomes an albatross and a cinder block around the necks of his supporters in the administration. Rubio, J.D. Vance, everybody with any other aspirations. Now he becomes an anchor around their necks. So he can't save himself and they can't save him either. And when that happens, brother, it's just the Titanic. It's just everybody's just going down at the same time at that point. So no, if he doesn't have some very solid results halfway through 2026, we won't get to the end of 2026. Dude, you can't run. You can't run in November when you're taking on water in March. You ain't got nothing to run on. People are not paying attention to you the whole time. If things don't start turning around at the beginning of next year, it's going to be all over but the shouting by the time you get to November. Everybody's going to have their political ads. They're going to be showing your track record. So, no, dude, if he does not turn this around by the beginning of next year in a way that everybody can very clearly see and is very substantive, no, it doesn't work. We have a lot of economic development happening in America right now. There's a tremendous amount of it. As a matter of fact, forget the big, beautiful bill. You've actually got about $1 trillion worth of economic development happening right now with all these data centers literally popping up everywhere. Here's the problem. There's a data center opening up somewhere near you, but it doesn't benefit you at all. Great, big, huge project that does not a damn thing for you. So yeah, there's a lot getting done and a lot getting built, and it ain't helping anybody except the same fat cats who are already sitting on it. So Blanco, he's already got $1 trillion of money moving, and everybody sees it as a negative. When they don't even see it as a neutral, they're like, no, this is a bad thing. They take up a bunch of water, they take a bunch of electricity, they spike electricity rates, and we ain't getting nothing for it. That's a negative. So the only thing he does have that he can actually point to that's a big ticket project is a negative.
But only that benefits the rich, though. It doesn't benefit the poor. So then, if he gets results for the rich people, then technically they may just keep him in there, huh?
Yeah, but the problem is there's not enough of them to vote. They'll be thrilled with him, but the proletariat's going to make this decision. Case in point, I don't give a damn. Elon Musk was able to pull off this chess move, but Elon jettisoned all of his credibility and goodwill as a result. Getting Trump into the White House has made Elon Musk the richest man in the world at the cost of being able to ever do that again. He will never be able to throw another $200 million, $300 million out there again because now he's radioactive. The Adelsons are radioactive. Peter Thiel, we can go down the list. Everybody's in the spotlight. Everybody's on Front Street. So no, that little shadow thing they did, you won't be able to keep doing that. Twitter is against Elon now. So, okay, you own Twitter. Congratulations. Twitter hates you. It's only going to get worse when you get into elections. You start meddling around. Everybody's going to start passing the word. Hey, Elon's at it again. Whatever he does this time, we're against it. So, yeah, you had their back last time. They don't have your back this time. So I don't see that working. So they can throw a bunch of money out there, but at the end of the day, dude, remember, all revolutions start when the people get hungry. When bellies are empty, the revolutions start. You can't sit up here and buy enough commercials. Hey, y'all are doing great. Trust me on my super yacht. hey, things are looking up for me. It's going good for you too. At a certain point, people start getting offended when you say that. And then they turn off the TVs and say, man, let me get this pitchfork. Let me get this up right quick. And we're just about there. You're getting to a point where people are getting sick of hearing how great the rich are doing. You're getting to a point where it's nauseating. Nobody wants to hear about how great it is. Richest man in the world. It's offensive to people to keep hearing this. And at a certain point, New York becomes a bellwether. They're like, you know what? Let me just vote for somebody who's going to get that money up off you. Let me just vote for somebody who's going to take that. I'm so glad you made so much money. Let me get somebody to pick them pockets right quick. Whoever going to vote to pick your pockets, I'm voting for him. I'm voting for him. And that's where we're heading. So no, the oligarchs won't be able to rig the game next time like they did last time. Because by the way, you had your oligarch in office. Now how'd that work out? And by the way, this is history. You're a student of history. This is history, man. Whether it's the czars in Russia, whether it's France and the royal family, King Louis and the boys. I mean, we've seen when the oligarchs start messing up, what comes in next is somebody to burn it down. Somebody with something resembling communism, socialism. Hey, I'm here to disperse this to the people. And the people are willing to let them Chairman Mao in China, okay, out with the emperor and with Mao, and yeah, it's going to be some hell starting. But then again, the only reason that happened is because things weren't going so well under the oligarchs before. If things were going so great under them, a Mao couldn't rise. A Lenin couldn't rise. A Napoleon couldn't rise if the royal families were doing such a great job. He never could have rose in the first place. If these people getting ready to rise, that's because the people have already lost faith in you. So you've already lost it. We're just waiting for whoever going to knock you off. That's all we're waiting for now, because people want to see you suffer now. Now they want to see you go down. So no, dude, the fact that AIPAC is on Front Street, all that big money floating around and stuff, I'm not saying it won't be influential. It will be. By definition, have money is influential. It's just not going to run it. It's not going to run it, autocratically the way that they are accustomed to it doing. People have lost their appetite for it. And the more of a spotlight goes on it, all it does right now, the people don't like nobody. Right now, the people don't like anybody. They don't like the Democrats. They don't like the Republicans. They don't like Kamala. They ain't really cool on Trump. They don't like the rich dudes. They don't like the popular dudes. There's nobody who really got sway like that. And when they see it's you, or they figure out that's you working somebody else's lips to talk, they're like, yeah, well, I figured you were back there. There are just too many people who are getting hip to the game at this point. So no, it's going to be a rough ride. I'm not saying they can't have influence, but I am going to say it's going to be a rough ride.
I appreciate it, Jason. B1 killing it.
Thank you for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Oh, yeah, by the way, one more thing, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me go ahead and go back into Marjorie Taylor Greene one more time for you here. Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay, there was a step on the chessboard. There was a step on the chessboard that I had overlooked in regards to Marjorie Taylor Greene. So let's go ahead and back this up one more again. Marjorie Taylor Greene has a falling out with Trump and decides that she is through sucking up and that she's going to go ahead and see if she can go into business for herself. She gets together with some other disaffected politicians in Georgia. They clunk their heads together and say, okay, we're about to go ahead and take over the game. We're the renegades, we're the insurgents, we're the upstarts. We got an opening here. Trump's getting weak, and we got an opportunity to usher in power and to move the seat of political power in America from Louisiana, where it currently is. The seat of political power for the Republicans in America today is Louisiana. And Georgia sees an opportunity to move that out of Louisiana and to Georgia. To make Georgia where the energy is. It ain't going to be Florida. Right now, Louisiana is the seat of power. Georgia's like, nah, it ain't going to go to Florida. We think we can pull that over here. So Marjorie Taylor Greene gets together with Brian Kemp and says, okay, here's the game plan. 2026, I resign as Congresswoman. Governor Kemp, you now have the ability to choose my successor in Congress without an election. That is the gift I give to you. That's the power I'm going to give you. In return, 2026 is your last year as Governor, Brian Kemp. You will endorse me, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You, Governor Kemp, will endorse me as the next governor of Georgia.
Damn!
Not only do you have an understanding with me, Brian, you will endorse me as your successor for governor of Georgia. And in return, when I get elected governor of Georgia, both me and the congressman that you selected, we will both endorse and support you to run for Congress or to be the next senator from the state of Georgia. Does that game plan make sense to everybody? Somebody say real life House of Cards. Damn! House of Cards is based on real life. It's always been like this. They just didn't want the public to know that the fix was already in. Power don't talk to everybody. I covered this on my other YouTube channel. The reason why the masses can't get empowered is because the masses talk too damn much. The masses let everybody know what they know. This is why whenever somebody figures out how to get a break on their cable bill, how to get a break on the internet bill, the masses can't keep it going. So these other folks out here, the masses keep talking too damn much. Real power doesn't talk. Real power knows the score, and they keep the information to themselves. They don't tell everybody what they know, and they don't trust anybody who goes around running their mouths about what they know. The general population can't get empowered because they let everyone know what they know. You don't have to wonder what they're thinking. They're going to tell you what they're thinking. People in real power, they got in power because they know things everybody else doesn't know. And the fact that you don't know, that's the power that they have. They know they got, it's not that they have money you don't have, they got knowledge you don't have. So you watch the money stack up, but if you don't have the knowledge, you don't even know how it got stacked up. You just know they keep winning, and you have notions and assumptions about why they keep winning. You're guessing why they're winning. They know why they're winning. Oh yeah, and they're not going to tell you. So when they make their deals and negotiate, and you think they all angry with each other and this, that, and the other, and they've already made the deal and whatnot, and they're like, okay, we don't have to play against each other. We're playing against the electorate. So real life isn't based on House of Cards. House of Cards is based on real life. So when I lay out the scenario to you all like that, by the way, that's the way the chips are going to fall, because that's what's going to happen. Now, we're going to see how it breaks down. I am not saying that that is what's going to happen, but I am telling you that that is a very likely scenario. If Marjorie Taylor Greene runs for governor of Georgia, I do not believe that she's going to run for governor of Georgia if she doesn't have, pardon the expression, a trump card in her back pocket and an endorsement from Brian Kemp. For those of you who say, well, could she win? I don't know. Could she win? If she gets an endorsement from Brian Kemp, do you think she can win now? Do you have any more doubts that she can win if she can get Brian Kemp to give her an endorsement? If he endorses her, do you still question or doubt that she gonna win? Hell, she's up against Keisha Bottom B. That's her competition, is Keisha Bottoms. Brian Kemp is a very popular governor. He has not been an overt white supremacist. He hasn't gotten on everybody's bad side. Black folk don't have anything really bad to say about him. Maybe he didn't do things we wanted him to do, but he hasn't been a Donald Trump. He's not this polarizing figure that got racism dripping all out of him. I'm not saying he's not racist. I'm just saying he doesn't have it dripping all out of him. He doesn't have that kind of racial baggage. So when Brian Kemp talks, black folk don't just say, get his ass out of here. He's not just readily offensive to everybody. So if he says something, that'll carry weight. So with everybody who voted for him, okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene gets the nod. Yeah, if she gets a direct endorsement from the governor of Georgia, do you think she can make it now? So stack up the cards, man. Go ahead and stack up the cards and see how they start working out. Go ahead and do that. My job is to lay out the analysis that you all can receive absolutely nowhere else, to do it long before everybody else. You're damn right you got the plug. My job is to give you the update and to give you a heads up of what's coming on down the road, 10 miles down the road before it gets there. So when you start seeing people moving into position, and yes, by the way, one more thing. Oh, the more you think about this, folks, the more it lines up. Why did Marjorie Taylor Greene fall out with Donald Trump, people? Why did Marjorie Taylor Greene fall out with Trump? Remember, she said what it was. The media been saying what it was. All of y'all were talking about Jeffrey Epstein. But remember, that's not what she said. If you think Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to get out of politics, remember, she said that Trump told her that he would not support her anymore. Remember? Yeah, if anybody really thinks that she doesn't want to be in politics anymore, remember, she said the straw that broke the camel's back was that Trump said he wouldn't support her anymore. Remember? That was what did it. They could smooth everything else over except she's got further political aspirations, and Trump said, well, I'm not going to back you anymore. That was what she took offense at. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. So when you think of it in that regard, what would you do if you still want to be in politics? You gonna try to find a way to make an end run around Trump. And what better way to do that than to say, I'm leaving Washington, I'm going back to Georgia, and I'm going to establish a power base for myself back in Georgia where Trump has no power. He's not supporting me. So I'm going to get out of an arena where I need his support, go back to Georgia, and get in an arena where I don't need it. And I'm going to get rebuilt down there and build myself up back down there and form a power base that isn't dependent on him. She hitched her wagon to him in Congress. She can go back to Georgia and build her own wagon. Is that what you see happening? Marjorie Taylor Greene was with Trump. Trump didn't like one thing she did. He tells her he's not going to support her anymore. Now she starts putting a plan into place to support herself. And she gets together with Governor Kemp, and they start putting together a plan to support themselves. And so now, all right, Marjorie, if Brian Kemp tells her if that's the way you want to run it, you step down. I'll choose your successor. I endorse you for governor. Now we got the two of you here, and 2028, you two support me for Senate or whatever. In the chat room, Taburn says Marjorie Taylor Greene is not likable. Dude, who is likable? Who is? People don't vote on likability. They vote on results. She's not likable by whom? She got elected. Who is it that doesn't like her? Who is it that doesn't like her who actually was willing to vote for her? Because if you were never going to vote for her, that's one thing. But if you were going to actually vote for her, that's one thing. But if you were never going to vote for her, I mean, she's not likable. Not likable by somebody who was never going to vote for her. I mean, it's because according to the Georgia electorate, she's very likable. Next year, I think we're about to find out how likable she is. Now, if she doesn't run, it'll only be because, they've checked her paperwork and they checked the numbers and they did their focus groups and their polling and found out that, it ain't gonna work. Now, if she doesn't run, it's because they did focus groups and they determined you don't have the support for it. Okay, here's what you look for. You're going to look for this. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to try to run as a populist, and you're going to see Marjorie Taylor Greene softening up some of that white supremacist stuff. You're going to see her getting softer on that. She's going to be talking about the economy. She's going to be talking about jobs. She's going to be talking about issues that everybody can agree on. And she's going to back off anything that sounds like Trump and that MAGA white supremacist stuff. She's going to ease way back up off of that. So if you want to know the sign that you're looking for, that's the one you're looking for. And by the way, she does know how to talk to black folk. Wasn't she on the Breakfast Club? Didn't she talk to Charlemagne? By the way, Charlemagne sits up here and coaches those people.
Nigga, what?
Charlemagne coaches them Republicans on how to stop talking so crazy. And he's not bad at it. He certainly is better at it than they are. So, yeah, she talked to him for a bit. She knows how to get some act right. Believe me, if she wants to run for governor, it's going to be a whole lot more believable for her than it is from Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis, you can't take that from him. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she actually has the potential to clean up her act to a certain degree. She can actually do it because Keisha Bottoms is not really that popular among black folk to begin with. So she actually has some runway to clean up that paperwork she got to an extent. All right, let me go ahead and see if we can get Jason up here. All right, what's on your Justin rather. All right, what's on your mind, Justin?
How you doing, brother Jason? Once again, an amazing broadcast. I want to thank you. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Really quickly, what I wanted to note out is the simple fact that this is more for you and what you're doing for us. This is not only a history lesson of what we see happening and how we can be able to kind of navigate these waters that we're in right now. It's also being able to, I guess, point out everything in the future that happens. Because everything that you say, for the longest time, I've been a long listener, but not as long as you've been doing the broadcast. This is teaching us critical thinking. And I want to expound on that and make sure that everybody understands that this is a lesson on critical thinking and knowing who your enemies are, who we need to side with, who we need to be wary of, and then also everybody everyone that's still asleep. If they want to wake up, we can wake them up. We can help them with that. If not, leave them by the wayside and keep it moving because we know the knowledge.
Well, really what it comes down to is that, as you can see, I'm not partisan. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. So I've got the ability. Ain't nobody paying me. I can just call it straight down the middle. I'm not looking for Democrats to win. I'm not looking for Republicans to lose. I'm looking for my people to win. So I can be objective. I can call it like it is. I can see what these other folks are doing. I don't sit up here and say, okay, it's good that they're fighting. So I want to believe that this is why they're doing what they're doing over there because it works out or whatever. No, I'm being objective. I said, okay, they're going to fight. They're going to make up and then they're going to get back to fighting again. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm like, this is not about principle. This is about politics. She wants to get more power for herself and Trump is in the way. She thinks she found a way around it. So if your ego is in the way and you want the Democrats to win, you can't see any of this. It's right there in front of you, but you can't see it. If you're just being objective, you can actually see what's happening over there. And you can also see one more thing. It will work. Just like I said that Trump going to be back in 2024 and he will win. He did. Marjorie Taylor Greene appears to me to be amassing power for herself. And if she plays her cards right, because she is not Nikki Haley. She is not Nikki Haley at all.
Not at all.
Marjorie Taylor Greene can win. Yes, she can.
I give her a little bit more credit than Nikki Haley because
Nikki Haley's an ass kisser. Nikki Haley is a feckless Indian ass kisser, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, at the very least, does not have that problem. So that phoniness about it. Nikki is, baby, you're such an, like Vivek Ramaswamy, you're an obvious ass kisser.
Yes.
That phoniness is what makes people repulsed and vomiting. Marjorie at least does not have that issue. You might not like her, but she at least comes across as sincere. She's not kissing nobody's ass except her own.
Where's Vivek right now?
Deluding himself into thinking he's going to get elected governor of Ohio currently. He's currently smoking the hopium about becoming governor of Ohio. He's trying to convince everybody that he ain't a white supremacist ass kisser, and it's not going so well. So Marjorie doesn't have that kind of cultural baggage. She has another type. But if she gives herself a year, if Marjorie is smart and if she's going to run again, her people have already told her this. We will see if she takes them up on it. If she just mends a couple of bridges, she'll be able to make that work. If she makes a couple of overtures in black society, she can do enough to get 5 or 7 percentage points to move. She doesn't have to get 50 percentage points to move, just 5 or 7. Because those are going to come directly from Keisha. That's going to be Keisha's 5 or 6 points. That's all she got to do.
And now what's even crazier is like you can see that she's turning that tide as well. Well, at least the tactics, because she's doing this whole thing about, I'm worried about my sons. I'm worried about my kids. I'm worried about the future of the next generation. And I'm calling out to everybody that's worried about their children and making sure that we build a future for our children. And it's like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing. Look,
for those of us who don't, you're from New York. So if I say, okay, I want to do something, north of 110th Street, I only have to say black folk. I just got to say a geographic area. That's all I got to do. If I say I want to do something for Jewish folk, okay, over there off of Ocean. I don't even have to do that. If I'm in Brooklyn, okay.
Or Crown Heights.
Yeah, or in Brooklyn off of Flatbush,
Exactly.
So I don't even have to say black folk. I just say, okay, we need to do something over here off of Flatbush. We need to do something over here. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, in Atlanta, for example, you can do the exact same thing. You can do the exact same thing there. So if Marjorie starts talking like that, she ain't got to say black folks. She can just say, okay, I want to do something for this neighborhood here. There's certain parts of town. We need to really do something about some of the inner city places and this, that, and the other, and make it clear she got some ideas about that. Go on the Breakfast Club and start talking to them. Those won't be things that necessarily resonate with us nationally because we don't live there. But in Atlanta, when you talk about things like the line and stuff like that, Beltline, those are things that they recognize, and that could be enough. Look, if you see Marjorie Taylor Greene do another Breakfast Club interview within the first 90 days of 2026, it's on.
It's on. Yeah. It's on. And then let her fuck around let her mess around and talk about being in Atlanta and then say, okay, let me go to Varsity. I'm going to Varsity, get some hot dogs. Then it's like, okay, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
You know where she's pitching for. You know what she's doing.
Yeah, because the thing is, she's got the white support for the most part.
She
I mean,
does.
she's going to have
She
that.
does.
What she's going to have to do is chip. If she really wants to lock it in, you got to chip away at that black support because Fulton County is the biggest thing you got to worry about. So if she starts softening up the image there, and brother, I mean, folk ain't going to like this, but I got to call it down the middle. I do. Brother, you done seen it for yourself. If Marjorie get out there dancing the damn me Dougie, if Marjorie get out there twerking,
oh boy, or doing the fan dance,
brother, if she go to Olympic Park, if she go down there twerking at Olympic Park, how many black females you think gonna be out there with her, dude?
It's not gonna only be black females. It's gonna be the black people that believe they're females.
Dude,
and that's another discussion.
I mean, bruh, I'm just, if y'all don't think it'll happen, it will. Atlanta knows this. This is why my Atlanta folk are hanging their heads right now. They're like, damn, Jason, didn't think about it that way. You know, if you think niggas ain't gonna cross the line, if she show up to do that, brother, if she shows up, she bring the cameras with her, the media with her, she start clowning and showing out, she go down there to the Waffle House, down the street from the Westin, bruh.
Yep.
She go to Hard Rock Cafe.
Let her mess around and go to the Coca-Cola factory. It's a wrap.
Man, look here. Folks can make names and that's pathetic. I'm just it'll be happening. I'm telling y'all, it will happen. Not it might. We saw what they did with Trump, dude. Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, a bunch of rappers got with Kamala, but how many of them was backing Trump? We seen this. We seen this. If y'all don't think that she doesn't have to get 50% of them, y'all. She just needs to get 5 or 7 because that 5 or 7 will come from Keisha's vote.
Exactly.
She just got to suck away 5 or 7% from Keisha, and Keisha doesn't have enough room anymore to rise.
And all I'm saying is this is a history lesson. Everything that you teach us, everything that you expose to us, everything that you put down is a history lesson. This is also critical thinking. You have to, everything that's going on right now, it's happened before. They use the same tactics. They're not smart enough to create a whole new other plan. They use these same tactics over and over again. I've witnessed this in New York. I've lived in Atlanta. I've seen the same thing. So it's like, all right, okay, can we just kind of wake up and let these people know we're tired of this. We're tired of this same game. You either come correct or you step to the side. But because they know that they can use these tactics and these tactics work, they're going to repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's it.
Thank you very much for giving the call tonight. Folks, listen to me. If Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on The Breakfast Club, goes on Channel 11, if Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on there and tells you that, yeah, Young Thug is one of my favorite rappers.
Oh, please.
If Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on Channel 4 or Channel 11 and says that Young Thug is one of her favorite rappers and she starts rapping one of his songs, do you think that that's not going to have niggas talking about, damn, I got to look at her different? Do you think that Marjorie Taylor Greene can't do it? Do you believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene cannot give you 2 bars from a Gunna song? How many of you actually believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene cannot give you 2 bars from a Gunna song? I mean, let's just say she already with the freak off. What? I mean, Laura Loomer already called her out. So, hey, she already in these streets. She already in these streets. She got her hoe card. Folks, I mean, I ain't dissing her. It is what it is. I ain't hoe hating. Marjorie, I'm not hoe hating. Don't make it into that. I'm not hoe hating. I'm just reading the mail. Okay, she got a hoe card. Hey, she out here in these streets. She outside. Laura Loomer put up the pictures. Hey, Marjorie is outside, y'all. Marjorie is outside from Fulton County to Valdosta. She outside. Okay, she come up to the studio. You know, what you got, black folk? I love Young Thug. That's one of my favorite albums. Him and Future. I like Future, especially that song that he had with Kelly Rowland. You know about that? Sure, girl. Take a look right here on my phone. I got it right here. You think they ain't gonna be sucking up on that if she says that? Yeah, all of a sudden, the math done changed. In the chat room, you talking about Glorilla. If Marjorie Taylor Greene invites Glorilla, or you name it, Suki Hana, I don't know, Suki from Atlanta, if she invites any of them chicks with her, you think they're going to turn it down? You think that's what's going to happen? Come on now. If Marjorie Taylor Greene tells you that she got Young Thug and Gunna on her playlist, and if she can just give you 2 bars, okay, now what you gonna say? What do you say now? Okay, now folks like, damn, that could actually work. That could actually work. It really, really could. Okay, hey, you can say culture vulture, but are you going to guarantee me that there are not 10% of the black electorate in Atlanta that will rock with a culture vulture? When you take a look at DJ Vlad, DJ Khaled, and the rest of them, are you telling me that there isn't 10% of the black population in Atlanta that is willing to give a culture vulture a pass? You can call them culture vulture, okay. Can you guarantee me that at least 10% of the population is not going to give them a pass? That they're going to hold firm? Because that's where the rubber meets the road. All right, let me jump back over here on Zoom right quick. I got Lex here on Zoom. What's on your mind, brother?
What's going on, TBA? Long time. Fantastic broadcast as always. Yeah, call and get your opinions and thoughts on. I know that the Charlie Kirk was recently assassinated. Charlie Kirk and Turning Point had a huge impact. It's really on both Trump elections, but specifically this last Trump election. It was huge, and he had like real influence on the ground game and really helped Trump get over the hump. My 2 questions is this: with Turning Point in the situation they're in, do you think they're going to be around long term? Will they be able to really get a new figurehead in there to extend it out? And will they continue to have influence on possibly getting future RNC candidates elected?
This is going to sound very crude, but I'm going to say it like this. Can you please name for me a music group that replaced the lead singer and the fans rallied around the new lead singer like they did the old one?
Oh, good one, TBA.
Yeah, just name for me one time that's happened. Name for me one time. Name for me one president who was assassinated and everybody's gathered around his successor the way they did around him.
Yeah.
Lincoln, JFK. Name one who got killed and they gathered around his successor the way they did around him. Brother, you can't name it. And by the way, when I say president, I'm not just talking about America. America, Asia, Europe, you name one, name a iconic figure, and I'm not really calling him that, but just name a very well-known figure. The folk were rocking with him. He gets knocked off, and they put somebody else in his seat, and the people just rally around that person.
Can't think of one. We've seen so many get assassinated. Thomas Sankara, the list goes on. And you're right, the successor, nobody was rocking with them heavy like that.
Yeah. I mean, the group might go on. Somebody's talking about Van Halen. Van Halen was Eddie Van Halen. It's literally in the name.
Yeah,
it's literally in the name.
Facts.
And by the way, you can't really compare anything to Jump, by the way. So it's sorry, folks. There was Jump, and then there was everything after Jump. And I'm not telling you, there was the 1984 album, and then there was everything else. No dissing Sammy Hagar. It is what it is. However, the real thing about it is, like I say, it doesn't happen like that. In this case, there isn't even an heir apparent. And here's the thing, even if you did, you would have to have somebody who does what he does. Erica Kirk is neither qualified nor capable to do the college circuit thing that Charlie did. Charlie Kirk was a long-term investment. He was a decade-long investment. You can't just grab somebody else and make them Charlie Kirk ready. Just add water, shake, and stir in 90 days. That you're not going to be able to do. You're going to need another decade to get somebody who's really prepared for that. Nick Fuentes has been beating these streets for a decade. Ben Shapiro been beating them for 2 decades. Charlie Kirk has been beating them streets for a decade. If they didn't have anybody else who was doing that, and to replace him, you would have to do what he does. Steven Crowder can do it. He's not any better at it than Charlie, but he can do it because he spent the last decade doing that kind of thing. You don't have anybody at Turning Point who's been groomed and trained and, tutored on how to do that. There's nobody qualified to take it. They're trying to do it, but it ain't happening.
No, I hear you. I'm hearing a lot of noise about this young Mikey McCoy kid. I know he's real young, but they're hyping him up over there. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't put in any work.
Okay, let me just tell you the problem with anybody you try to name, any name they try to throw out there, brother. If they were going to make that move, the time for him to make that move was the day after Charlie got killed.
Yeah.
If you were going to Ben Shapiro announced that he was going to be going on tour the very next day. I played that for y'all. Megyn Kelly the very next day. The folk in Turning Point USA, you ain't heard nothing. So if they were if you were gonna step in his shoes, you don't do that 6 months later. You should have been doing that right out the gate. You didn't do it because you can't actually do it. You're not qualified. You're not capable. You don't have the debate chops. Charlie didn't have it either, but you don't even have it. You don't have the social media savvy. You're not as photogenic. They got Charlie. He was tall, dark haired. So he hit 50 aesthetics because they were selling a product. So you get the whole point. So somebody else, right? I don't see anybody they got right there that checks all those boxes.
No, I get that. Well, a couple other quick things about Candace Owens. She just came out recently on X and was saying that she got word that the French were trying to assassinate her or something. And
all these folks are talking about, watch out, I'm going to get killed next. What they're really doing is expressing their fears about things is what they're really doing. No, look. Charlie Kirk is dead because, and I'm not dissing anything, Charlie Kirk is dead because Charlie Kirk they all got very, very confident over there, overconfident that America just loved them. Charlie Kirk really did believe the white supremacist line. He went to Utah and felt, I'm among my people. I'm in Utah, damn it. I'm not in Illinois. I'm not in Georgia. I'm in Utah. As if there's niggas sniping at people on buildings. Okay. He felt in Utah, I'm safe, because he really did believe that garbage they tell themselves. He did not have any protection. He held the event outside because they didn't want to hold the event indoors. Jason, why did they not want to hold the event indoors? Because if you hold the event indoors, there's a limited number of people you can have. This has actually been used against Turning Point previously, including by Nick Fuentes people. What? So you see, let's just say inside you can have 2,000 people. Well, that's a limited number of folk, and believe it or not, that actually allows you to sneak in a bunch of groypers, left-wingers, and whatnot. So next thing you know, you got 2,000 folk, but it really makes it easier for them to disrupt things. If they're inside an auditorium, it makes it harder for you to get them out. Security is going to take them a minute. So it makes it easier to infiltrate, easier to get negative numbers in there, easier to disrupt. By having an outdoor event, it made that kind of dynamic harder harder for you to buy up all the tickets or get all the tickets, for a bunch of folks trying to disrupt things. It made that harder. And remember, he wants to go viral. He wants it to be recorded. He wants it to be seen. So he was primarily focusing on the optics. How does this look? That was paramount to him, is how does this look? Because he wants to keep the momentum going and the energy going. That was why he turned down holding it inside the very building behind him and wanted to be outside in that courtyard, was because he was trying to avoid negative optics. That was why he did it. And so everything they're saying now, they're really just trying to rewrite history of what they know is true. Bro, their whole thing is built on those bogus ass clips they were posting online. And he did it this time, and it was the wrong time to do it.
Sheesh. Yeah. Any quick thoughts on who you think might have been behind it, or you don't want to make any accusations?
Yeah, I know exactly who was behind it.
Oh, were you comfortable speaking on that? Or?
Yeah, his name is Tyler Robinson.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly who it was, brother. Look,
okay.
I mean, listen to me, people. I said this before. People, my folk in the military know this more than anybody. I don't know if you're ex-military or not, but my people in the military know this more than anybody. Dude, anybody can get got.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can get got.
Anybody.
The only reason that Donald Trump is alive right now is because Russia doesn't want to kill him. Iran don't want to kill him. Zelensky, you think Russia couldn't get at him if they wanted him?
Yeah, I'm sure they could.
This is Vladimir damn me Putin.
Yeah.
Heads of state have an unspoken agreement with each other about not knocking each other off.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to get at you, they would get at you. The folk who get got, we want to get at you. So when old boy wanted to kill Trump in Pennsylvania, he was trying to get at him for real. I ain't bull jiving. I ain't playing no games. I ain't with no political party. I'm here to get you. I'm here to get you. And he damn near got him. A fella in Florida, if he wanted to camp out on the golf course, damn near got him.
Yeah.
So in reality, dude, these folk could get got. They could. Everybody's under this misnomer that it's so hard to get people. No, it really ain't. If you go out in public, dude, you can get got. If you go into a grocery store, if you go into a club, you can get got, dude. You can get got. If somebody's willing to go in there and shoot and spray, I ain't even talking about explosives. You can get got. So in the case of Charlie Kirk, this was just somebody who wasn't playing no games. He didn't come to the TikTok. He didn't come to the debate. Once he found out, this the spot. They're going to be outside? Oh, okay. Well, I'm outside too. And he already been hunting. It wasn't a long distance. It was only 100 yards, which is nothing for a rifle. Anybody who's been hunting in the woods knows that's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah. You can teach a child to do that. So Tyler Robinson had been hunting. He was proficient in the military. They have a marksman, specialist, and sniper. I think those are the three levels in the Army is marksman. Everybody got to be a marksman. All that means is you're proficient. And I think they got to do like 500 yards to be a marksman. Yeah. I think they have to do 500.
Yeah.
500. So Tyler is just a regular citizen, dude. This was not this. Everybody thinks that everybody who gets killed has got to be some super secret mission. No, it ain't. 9/11 was not no highly technique thing. A few guys who went to flight school. This is how you do the controls in the 747. Okay, we ain't what they tell them. I'm not worried about landing. I just want to know how to steer it. Oh, okay. It's not hard, people. Don't let television fool you into thinking that everything is high tech. Most of the world is very, very simple. It's just does somebody actually have the will to? Brother, do you know? I'm not going on a tangent. Do you know that the doors on airplanes are not locked?
Nigga, what?
People, the doors on airplanes ain't locked.
Yeah.
Give me the airplane emoji for any of you who work at or have worked at an airport. Not even a major one. Doors on airplanes ain't locked. They're not locked. And I'm talking about when you're in flight. I'm not talking about at the airport. At the airport, they're not locked. But guess what? They're also not locked in flight. People, you can open the doors on an airplane. There have been plenty of videos online. For those of you who don't know, anybody can get up and open the door. The doors are not sealed shut. Anybody can walk up and open it. Some crazy people have. Okay, I got folk in the chat room who worked in an airport. Then y'all already know. The pilots, there was an incident, I want to say it was in Atlanta, but it might not have been. Somebody snuck into the airport that night and snuck on one of the planes and started up the engines.
Damn.
Now, I don't think they could fly, but they knew how to get on the plane and start up the engines. There's also a door on the bottom of the planes, people. That one ain't locked either.
Nigga, what?
There's a door on the 737 and 747, but 737, there's a cargo panel on the bottom of the planes that you can get in. There's YouTube videos showing it. I'm not giving away national security secrets. Anybody who's been to flight school, anybody who worked in the airport, you know they tell you this. The doors ain't locked. Okay, so why do we not have a 9/11 every day? Because ain't nobody trying to do it. You had 9/11 because somebody was actually trying to do it.
Yeah.
And that's really the world you in, man. Ain't nobody, they ain't really raising hell because ain't nobody really trying to do that. But folk make a lot of money by scaring you and telling you somebody trying to get at you. No, they trying to get at them.
I got you. No, I dig that, TBA. I'm gonna ask this and land. What's your take? I ain't never heard you really speak on him on RFK. A little off topic, but was he the last great Democrat? Or what's your thoughts on that, man? And I'll land. Thanks, TBA.
I mean, RFK. Yeah, I mean, RFK has kind of been off on his own thing. It's not very cohesive. It just isn't. A lot of folks grew up listening to Alex Jones. And now they're grown. And that's really where we at. And that's where RFK is. Now he's there, and tell me one competent thing you've seen. Well, the food dies. Okay. Anything else? I'll let that speak for itself. You had a bunch of people who thought they were ready for power and made all kinds of highfalutin promises, and they got there and you realize, oh, damn it, you're a YouTuber. You ain't no leader. You're a YouTuber. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, okay, in the chat room, I'm not even going to argue this. For those of you who don't know how planes work, some folk make themselves look stupid and silly. Anybody who wants to go Google it about doors on an airplane, you can. There have been a number of incidents. So anybody who wants to show how silly they are, just talk about what the doors won't do. There's literally Google. So anybody who wants to talk about that, I'm not even going to get you corrected. There's Google, there's YouTube. A very simple short search will bring up a list of incidents. So you can put your ignorance up against knowledge. It's not going to be pretty. Let's see if we can go ahead and get Tyler. Well, I hope this ain't the wrong Tyler here. Got a feeling it might be the right Tyler, though. Let me see if we can get Tyler up here on Zoom. Tyler. Okay, quit playing around, Tyler. You must have got up to go get you a hamburger.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Okay, Tyler is supposed to be up here on Zoom. I don't know what he's doing or thought he was doing here, so he was supposed to be there. I'm about to go ahead and kick him out. There, so. Okay, Tyler, you must have got up and walked away, so Tyler is going to take the rest of the evening off. Yeah, folks, like I say, there's a whole lot going on. Y'all be surprised how much it is. My military people know better. My military people know damn well y'all could have did a lot more than you did. You could have kicked up and raised a whole lot more hell than you. Nigga, do you know how much hell you could raise if you had a damn F-16 or a F-35? People, do you realize what you could do if you had a F-16 or an F-35 and you got to make the rules of what it did? Can you imagine what you could do if you had a B-52 bomber? What couldn't you do? Who couldn't you assassinate? Who couldn't you kill? And they got you thinking that these folk are just there because they slick? No, it's because you didn't have orders to do it and you weren't willing to defy your orders. If one of you had access to that kind of armament and you were willing to defy orders, man, you could knock off whole governments. You'd also probably start World War III. But let's be clear. Most of y'all who are in the military, you know damn well you could have set off World War III if you wanted to. The only reason it didn't happen was because you didn't want to do it. It isn't because you couldn't do it. It's because you policed yourself. But it isn't because you didn't have method, motive, and opportunity. Every single one of you who was in the military, you had something that could have set off World War III if you really wanted to do it. You just didn't. Well, that's really what it is. Soldiers in Russia, soldiers in Ukraine, soldiers in America, Middle East, that's really what it is. And so if somebody don't get got, that's because ain't nobody really trying to get them. They ain't really trying to get them. Not really. You get out here on these streets and then you run into somebody who really is about that business, and now somebody gonna get got. It's like, oh, he ain't playing with the rest of us. Remember that CEO up there in New York, Brian Roberts for United Healthcare. People, Bill Gates, when it was time to release, what was that, Windows, was it 95? He was in Times Square. I want to say when he released Windows 95, he was standing in the middle of Times Square. Now, they had police around him, don't get me wrong, but let's just keep it $103. AK-47 would have fixed that real quick. Wasn't nobody trying to get at him. Bill Gates was standing in the middle of Times Square. The best the police could do is give him time to run. Wasn't nobody trying to get at him. Wasn't nobody really trying to do him no harm. Okay, he showed up. This is just to keep people from throwing a pie at him, but somebody with an actual rifle, it wasn't going to be nothing he could do. So if you go out there, you taking chances. Remember when Donald Trump got on that in that garbage truck? Remember? Donald Trump got in that garbage truck, and remember, the guy started moving the truck, and the Secret Service was like, okay, you can move it forward like 5 or 10 feet, and that's it. Hell yeah, we ain't gonna let you put the damn pedal to the metal with the damn nominee sitting up in there. No, you don't get to drive around in a circle. You can roll them wheels a few feet. We don't know you. You might be like, man, damn it all. I'm getting Trump up out of here today. No, we ain't doing that. No, you can roll them wheels 3-4 feet. If you keep going, we shooting. If you keep going, we shooting. So 5-10 feet. Okay, that's been your damn tour. That's the end of this garbage truck, Uber. That's a wrap. Okay, get him on out of there. We got the pictures. We got the video. We done. Okay, you go back to picking up garbage. Have a nice day. Yeah, because y'all think about that for a few moments. Like you running for president, Leroy Jenkins, and damn me, they said, oh, we borrowed somebody's garbage truck, and you don't know that Nick Fuentes is the driver? Damn! Yeah, you just took their word for it. You didn't know Nick Fuentes was the driver of the garbage truck? You didn't know it was him? You're looking at him, he's smiling too damn much. He's smiling like he already knows who's going to win the election. Like, yeah, because your campaign about to be over today. He hits that damn gas. You're like, damn, I didn't know a garbage truck could accelerate this damn fast. And Nick like, we going to see if we can get this damn truck up to 120. And we going to go ahead and hit the first damn concrete pier we see. Only way they're going to be voting for you is with a Ouija board. Okay. That's the end of candidate Leroy Jenkins' campaign. So yes, if people really are out to get you, I'm letting you know you can get got. I'm not guaranteeing they will, but I'm just saying, hey, bro, if you walk out in the open, man, you can get got. And especially if we're talking about nation states. Do you know the gear that nation states have? You couldn't catch one of their snipers. If they sent one of their snipers here to assassinate somebody at the inauguration, man, you ain't going to be able to spot them. You won't be able to spot them and you won't be able to stop them. Now, that's reality. That's reality. So ain't nobody trying to get him. They weren't trying to get at him. Tyler Robinson was trying to get at him. And truth be told, in retrospect, everybody's like, damn, by the way, there's videos showing he was getting up on the building. There's videos showing it. So, yes, this was preventable. Charlie Kirk's security is pointing the fingers at the damn sheriffs now. Talking about they said they had the roofs covered. I mean, okay, but you're his security, man. You had a damn sniper after Trump. What this tells us is you're his security. You weren't even looking. You know where Charlie Kirk's security was looking? They were looking at the crowd. They were looking in the crowd because they were scared that somebody was going to throw a pie or a tomato or an egg at Charlie and ruin the optics. That was their priority, is making sure that you couldn't stop Charlie from having a viral moment. That was their priority. I submit to you, they did a good job of focusing on the thing that they were actually concerned about. They were concerned about somebody doing something that would ruin the optics. Because that's what Charlie was concerned about. Don't let anybody throw a pie at me or a fruit cake or throw something at me. Meanwhile, nobody's watching out for the damn killers. Well, the killers aren't in front of the camera. They worry about what could hurt them in front of the camera. And folks, it really is that simple. It really is. You didn't have to be the world's greatest sniper to kill JFK. Yeah, the target was moving, but any military person could have lined that up. If I give you 4 or 5 shots at somebody, Lee Harvey Oswald didn't hit JFK with one shot. He had to fire 4 or 5 times, people. Anybody could have done that. Anybody with basic training could have done the same thing. It wasn't some super sophisticated shot. Very easy. It wasn't hard. They got Ronald Reagan. It wasn't hard. Y'all realize how many times that's happened? They almost got Trump. They got Charlie Kirk. They almost got Trump. They got Reagan. They got Kennedy. Come on, y'all. How many Congress people done got killed? How many got killed, shot? No, people, it is not. It doesn't take some conspiracy in some rogue state or anything like that. They just take, hey, I'm ready to get you. I ain't playing with you no more. I'm here to get you. I ain't come to talk. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm just here to get you. And that's the world you live in. I would like for it to be a better world and a different one. I don't want it to be that way, but it's going to be up to some of these other folk to lose their taste for this being the world that they're in. Here's the problem. For many of them, they figure that if they can't have it, no one will. So, by the way, one more thing. One of the biggest obstacles we have to creating that world is that for a lot of these white supremacists, they've decided that if they can't rule the world, no one will. Now, that's what we're really up against. We're up against that. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. Folks, keep your eyes and your ears open. This was just during Thanksgiving week that they resumed hostilities. Wait till you see how things break down next week, because if you think it is over and that it's going to be a ceasefire, oh, hell no. Mark my words, they're going to be back at it one more again. They're going to be back at it again. Megyn Kelly going to have to talk about it. Megyn Kelly gonna have to talk about it. Man, every time they think they're gonna get together and attack black folk, something comes up and they just can't get it going. So Man, it sucks to be a white supremacist. It really does. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who's contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out to my man, Bruce Warren. Thank you very much for support tonight, brother. To the Newbie One Media is a lifesaver. Ain't seen you, man. Thank you very much for your support tonight, brother. Silly's Von Scott, Melvinia, and everybody else here. Thank you very much for your support tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the haven of intelligent Black thought. We do this every holiday, weekend, some days in between. And if you like tonight's program and you want to keep up with us, click that red subscribe button. Hopefully we have earned your subscription. And if not, come back tomorrow night. We'll be doing it again. Hopefully we'll earn your subscription then. But we're very glad that you joined us. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program, live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.